The sky cracked green over Manhattan, and Vought Tower trembled. Sarah Chen's phone was already recording, some instinct older than thought, when the aurora tore through reality itself. The green wasn't natural. It pulsed like a wound, like something alive and angry bleeding through the fabric of the world. Her ears popped. Around her, car alarms shrieked to life. Every phone on the street went dark, screens flickering to black, then struggling back to dim emergency light. "What the hell?" someone started. The pressure wave hit. Windows rattled in their frames. Parked cars shifted on their wheels. Sarah stumbled, catching herself against a newspaper box, phone still raised. Through her camera, she watched the fissure widen, edges distorting like heat shimmer, like the air itself was melting. The sound was wrong, not an explosion, but tearing. Metal screaming, thunder without lightning. Something massive fell through. The impact cratered the intersection of 47th and 8th. Asphalt buckled outward in concentric rings. A taxi flipped end over end, empty, crunching into a storefront. The shockwave knocked Sarah flat. Her phone skittered across concrete but kept recording, lens pointed at the smoke-filled crater. A shape rose from the destruction. 8 feet tall, maybe more, shoulders broad enough to block the sun. The smoke cleared in patches, revealing green skin, not paint, not costume, but flesh that seemed to pulse with inner light. Stone fragments fell away from massive arms, pieces of what looked like armor crumbling to dust. Each breath visible, chest expanding like a bellows. Sarah's phone captured it all. The way people backed away, stumbling over debris. The way traffic simply stopped, drivers staring. The way the thing, the man, scanned his surroundings with eyes that glowed pure emerald, not empty, not mindless. Aware. "Is that a soup?" someone whispered. "Jesus Christ." "Stop," another voice. "Look at the size." The green giant's gaze swept across storefronts, billboards, the digital displays still flickering back to life. Every surface screamed Vought. The corporation's logo plastered on everything, red, white, blue branding as thick as the smog. His eyes narrowed, tracked upward. There, miles north but impossible to miss. Vought Tower, that obscene glass phallus stabbing into the sky, reflecting afternoon sun like a mirror. Sarah saw his jaw tighten, saw massive hands curl into fists, saw recognition flash across features too human for something that size, that color. The green man smiled. It wasn't a good smile. Sirens already wailing in the distance, multiple directions. Vought's soup response team moved fast when cameras were rolling, when the public was watching. Sarah kept filming, hands shaking so badly the footage would be useless, except it wasn't. 50 other phones were recording too, every angle, streaming live. "Everybody back!" A security guard, brave or stupid, rushed forward. Standard Vought contractor, body armor and assault rifle. "Hands where I can see them, don't move!" The green man looked at him. Just looked. The guard's rifle drooped slightly. His voice cracked. "I said, where?" the green man said, voice like grinding stone. "Am I?" Not, "What year is this?" Not, "Take me to your leader." Where? Like he'd traveled distance, not time. Like he'd been somewhere else entirely. "Manhattan," Sarah found herself saying, couldn't help it. The green man's gaze shifted to her. She nearly dropped the phone. Those eyes weren't animal, weren't simple. There was intelligence there, pain, and anger. So much anger it felt like heat. "Manhattan," he repeated slowly, testing the word. His head turned, taking in the street, the buildings, the architecture. "Wrong. This isn't... I'm not home." "Sir, you need to..." The guard tried again. Water erupted from a nearby hydrant, pressure that shouldn't be possible, a column shooting 40 feet into the air before condensing, shaping itself into a barrier. The deep emerged from the water wall, scaled suit gleaming, trying for intimidating and landing somewhere near aggressively compensating. "Rogue. Soup activity detected," the deep announced, probably for the cameras. "Stand down immediately or..." The green man didn't even look at him.
Behind the deep, a shadow separated from shadows. Black noir, silent as cancer, blades already drawn. Professional. Lethal. He moved like liquid death, closing distance in heartbeats. The green man caught him by the throat without turning around, just reached back, massive hand closing around Noir's neck mid-strike, lifting him off the ground with the same effort someone might lift a briefcase. Held him there. Noir's blade scraped uselessly against green skin, leaving no marks. Don't, the green man said quietly. He set Noir down. Gently. Deliberately. Not a slam. Not a throw. Careful. The message clear, I could have. Didn't want to. The deep's water dissolved, collapsing back to street level. He stared. Noir stepped back, reconsidering. The guard lowered his rifle entirely. Sarah's phone captured the moment of frozen silence. The moment when two VOD-approved soups, trained and tested and marketed to hell, realized they were outmatched. Realized this wasn't a soup, this was something else. Then came the sonic boom. Everyone looked up. A red, white and blue streak descended from the sky, slowing just enough to avoid cratering the street, cape billowing dramatically despite the physics making no sense. Homelander landed 10 feet away, boots touching concrete with movie star precision. Perfect hair. Perfect smile. America's golden boy, broadcast live to 17 million phones. Well, Homelander said, smile wide and empty as a shark's. Looks like we have an unregistered guest. The green man turned fully now. Faced him. Matched that smile with something that showed too many teeth. Bruce Banner, he said, each word deliberate. And you are? Homelander's smile tightened just slightly. No one called him anything but his hero name. No one questioned him. His eyes began to glow red, faint at first, building. I'm Homelander, he said, voice still friendly, still perf. ECT. And you need to come with us. Now. Banner's eyes flashed brighter green. No. The temperature dropped. Sarah felt it through the phone screen. Every person watching, on the street, on their devices, in their homes, felt it. That single word, that simple refusal, carrying weight that made the air thick. Homelander's smile became something carved from ice. That wasn't a request. His eyes ignited fully. Ruby red heat vision charging, building, the signature move that had vaporized terrorists and toppled buildings and made him the most feared soup alive. Banner just stood there. Waiting, and Sarah realized with creeping certainty that Homelander had no idea what he was dealing with. The heat vision hit Banner's center mass, twin beams of concentrated energy that had melted through bank vaults, through airplane hulls, through anything Homelander wanted gone. The air itself ignited. Concrete beneath Banner's feet liquefied, glowing orange. Banner didn't move, the beams held for 3 seconds. 4. 5. Homelander's face tightened with effort, pouring more power into it, the red glow intensifying until people had to look away, until phones struggled to capture it without washing out completely. The light cut off. Banner stood in a crater of molten ash. Homelander pulled back, shaking his hand. Stared at his knuckles. At Banner's completely undamaged face. Interesting, Banner said quietly, then he moved, not fast like Homelander. Not the comic book blur. But sudden. Decisive. One massive hand shot out, caught Homelander by the chest, lifted him. Homelander's eyes went wide, actually surprised, maybe the first time in years someone had manhandled him, and Banner threw, not a kill shot. A removal. Homelander flew backward, tumbling through the air, crashed through the corner of an office building 3 blocks away. Glass and drywall exploded outward. Screams erupted from inside. Banner's head snapped toward the sound. His expression changed instantly, concern replacing anger, calculation replacing rage. People were in there. He'd just put them in danger. Damn it, he muttered. He crouched, muscles coiling, and leaped, the jump carried him across 3 city blocks in a single bound. Sarah's phone tracked his arc, capturing the impossible physics of it, the way he cleared traffic lights and power lines, landing on the building's exterior with enough force to crack windows but not collapse the structure. His hands found purchase on concrete and steel. Started climbing. Fast, inside the building, office workers scrambled away from the Homelander-shaped hole. Some fled for exits. Others, stupidly, bravely, filmed. Homelander pulled himself from the rubble, suit torn, hair mussed, face twisted with genuine rage. "You son of a..." Banner crashed through what remained of the wall. Homelander launched himself forward. Banner grabbed a support column, ripped it free, swung it like a baseball bat. The concrete and rebar club connected with Homelander's ribs, sent him spinning into the opposite wall. Drywall exploded. Filing cabinets crumpled like paper. A woman screamed. Corner office, desk overturned, trapped behind debris. The wall between her and the fight was crumbling. Would collapse any second. Banner saw her. Moved without thinking. Threw himself sideways, caught the falling wall section with his back. Tons of concrete and steel pressing down. His knees bent but held. Muscles strained. Veins stood out like cables. "Go," he shouted. Voice strained but controlled. "Get out. All of you." The woman crawled free, sobbing. Ran. Others followed her lead, streaming toward emergency exits. Banner held the wall, counting heads, making sure. His feet sank into the floor. The building groaned around him. Homelander rose from the rubble, blood on his lip, actually bleeding, first time most people had seen it, eyes pure red with fury. He gathered himself to charge. "There are still people here," Banner growled. Each word an effort under the weight. "You want me outside." Something in his voice, maybe. Some authority. Or maybe Homelander noticed the cameras, the dozen office workers filming from doorways, capturing everything. Capturing him bleeding. Capturing the green monster protecting civilians while America's hero destroyed the building. Homelander's jaw clenched. Then he blurred, gone through the hole he'd made, cape trailing. Banner waited. Counted to 5. Made sure the evacuation route was clear. Then he hurled the wall section away, through the exterior windows, clearing the space. Leaped after Homelander, landing in the street with enough force to crater the pavement. Homelander floated 20 feet up, reassembling his smile. Blood wiped away. Perfect hair somehow restored. The cameras loved him at this angle, backlit, heroic, untouchable. The kind where the narrative shifts in real time. "You're under arrest for, under whose authority?" Banner asked. "I don't know your laws. Don't know your system. Just got here and you immediately tried to kill me." 6 blocks away, on a rooftop with clear sightlines, Billy Butcher lowered his binoculars. Huey Campbell stood beside him, phone out, recording everything. Had a rifle, not aimed, just ready, tracking Homelander through the scope. Frenchie crouched by the roof access, laptop showing multiple live stream feeds. "Well," Butcher said slowly, accent thick with satisfaction. "Ain't that interesting?" "He just threw Homelander," Huey whispered. "Like it was nothing." "Not compound V," observed, eye still to the scope. "No way Vought's formula does that. Something else." "The green," Frenchie murmured, fingers flying across keyboard. "The radiation signature. Mon Dieu, it is off the charts. Like nothing in our database." Butcher's smile spread, sharp as broken glass. "Homelander's bleeding. You see that? Actually bleeding. Should we?" Huey looked uncertain. "I mean, is he dangerous? The green guy." "Save those people," said. Grudging respect in his tone. "Had Homelander dead to rights, didn't take it. Protected civilians first. Could have let that wall fall, Butcher agreed. Didn't even stop to count heads. He raised the binoculars again. Tell me something, Huey. What's our boy Homelander doing right now? Huey squinted at the street. Even without binoculars, it was clear. Homelander's body language, tight, controlled, but the rage visible even from here. The way he kept glancing at the cameras. At his image. At the optics. He's calculating, Huey said. Deciding if he can kill him on camera. Right. And Big Green down there. Butcher tracked Banner through the lenses. Just standing there. Waiting. Not attacking. Not threat. Ening. Just present. What are you thinking? Asked, though his tone said he already knew. Butcher lowered the binoculars. His smile turned predatory. I'm thinking, he said slowly, we just found our nuclear fucking option. On the street, Homelander made his decision. He descended, landing carefully, smile back in place. The deep and black noir had returned, flanking him. A train blurred into position. Queen Maeve approached more slowly, face unreadable. The 7 assembled. Broadcast live to millions. Dr. Banner, Homelander said, voice perfectly modulated for cameras now. I apologize for the misunderstanding. But you're clearly a powerful soup. For everyone's safety, including yours, you need to come with us. Vought International can provide accommodation, registration, proper registration. Banner's eyes narrowed. What does that mean? Homelander's smile stretched wider. Nothing to worry about. Simple paperwork. Medical evaluation. Standard procedure for all soups.
Banner looked at each of them. The 7, America's heroes, corporate logos on every surface, every costume, the cameras everywhere, the control. He'd seen this before. Different world, same cage. No, Banner said again. A black van screeched to a stop at the perimeter. The door opened. A woman emerged. Sharp suit, tablet in hand, fake smile plastered on. Ashley Barrett, VP of Hero Management, moving fast despite her heels. Dr. Banner, she called, voice bright with forced cheer. I'm Ashley, from Vought. We'd love to talk. Nothing formal, just... She stopped. Homelander had raised one hand. A signal. More vans, unmarked, black, military grade. They came from 4 directions, forming a perimeter. Men in tactical gear emerged, weapons raised, not cops. Private security, Vaught's personal army. Banner's stance shifted, shoulders squared, fists clenched tighter. The green glow of his eyes intensified. Last chance, Homelander said quietly, the smile gone entirely now. Come peacefully, or we make you. Banner looked at the circle of guns, at the 7, at Homelander's face, that barely restrained violence hiding behind a perfect mask. He thought of Sakaar, of the arena, of everyone who'd tried to cage him before. Try, Banner said. The tactical teams fired. Tranquilizer rounds, rubber bullets, taser nets, non-lethal but overwhelming. 40 weapons unleashing simultaneously. The munitions converged on Banner from every angle. The crowd of civilians still filming from behind barriers ducked covered ears. Banner clapped his hands together. The shockwave was visible. Air itself compressed and exploded outward in a perfect sphere. The sound was biblical. Thunder trapped in a bottle and detonated. Every window within 3 blocks shattered simultaneously. The tactical rounds disintegrated mid-flight, turned to powder. The soldiers flew backward like dolls, body armor useless, against pure concussive force. The 7 staggered. A-Train tripped over his own feet. The Deep's water constructs evaporated. Maeve caught herself against a light post. Only Homelander remained standing, but his cape whipped violently, and his expression, for one fraction of a second, showed something like concern. Banner stood in the center of the destruction, hands at his sides, waiting. "You cannot contain me," he said, loud enough to carry. "You can try. People will get hurt. Or," he paused, looked directly at Homelander. "You can talk." Ashley's voice cracked through a megaphone. "Dr. Banner, please, we're not trying to hurt you. We just need to understand what we're dealing with." Banner's gaze shifted to her. "Then ask questions, not guns." Homelander floated closer, hands raised in mock surrender. The smile was back, but strained at the edges. "You're right. My apologies. We got off on the wrong foot." His tone had changed, still authoritative, but attempting diplomacy. "But you have to understand. Unregistered soups are a public safety concern. We have procedures. Laws." "What laws?" Banner asked. "I'm not from here. Didn't choose to be here." His eyes swept the scene. The tactical teams struggling to stand. The civilians behind barriers. The cameras. "I fell through something. A portal. Dimensional rift. One second I was somewhere else. Next second..." He gestured at the crater. The destruction. "Here." Silence. The kind that happens when the script breaks. Huey's camera captured Ashley's face as the implications sank in. Not a rogue soup, not even from this world. Something genuinely unknown. Her fingers flew across the tablet, probably already messaging Stillwell, recalculate. "If I refuse?" Banner asked. "Then people get hurt." Homelander's voice stayed pleasant. "Accidents happen in fights, civilians, buildings. You saw what happened back there." He gestured at the damaged office building. "Better to avoid that." The manipulation was textbook. Blame the victim. Make him responsible for potential collateral. Banner's jaw tightened. He recognized the tactic, had seen it before. But his eyes found the civilians, the families. The kids held back behind police barriers. "One condition," Banner said finally. "I leave when I want, not a prisoner." "Guest," Ashley called out immediately. "Honored guest. Temporary accommodation while we help you." Banner looked at Homelander. "Your word?" Homelander's smile widened. "You have my word, as America's greatest hero." Butcher, watching from the rooftop, snorted. "Lying cunt." Banner knew it too. The skepticism was clear on his face, but he looked at the civilians again, the frightened families, and nodded once. "Fine, but somewhere public, with cameras. I want witnesses." "Of course," Ashley said, already moving. "Our finest facility, very comfortable. You'll..." "Vought Tower," Banner interrupted. "Public building, people around. Not some black site." Homelander's eye twitched, just for a second, but his smile held. "Absolutely. The tower. We'll give you the grand tour." The extraction was theater. The 7 surrounding Banner, not threatening, but present. Cameras tracking every step. Homelander providing commentary for the live streams about safely securing the situation and protecting civilians. Ashley coordinating with phone permanently attached to her ear. Banner walked calmly, didn't resist, but his shoulders stayed square, his awareness complete. He moved like someone who knew this was a trap and didn't care, confident he could break it when necessary. The convoy to Vought Tower took 20 minutes. 15 vehicles, police escort, news helicopters overhead. The entire route broadcast live. Ashley had pivoted fast, turned potential disaster into marketing. Vought International, first to respond, first to protect. They brought Banner through the main entrance. Not the basement, not the loading dock. The front doors, past the gift shop and tourist displays. Ashley's play. Show transparency, nothing to hide. Look at our openness. Banner's eyes tracked everything. Security measures, guard positions, exit routes. The analysis was constant, professional, military training visible in how he cataloged threats. The conference room was 80 floors up. Glass walls, spectacular view, deliberately intimidating, meant to make visitors feel small, exposed, vulnerable. The furniture was expensive. The water bottles were branded. Everything screamed corporate power. Madeline Stillwell was already waiting, blonde, poised, dressed in a blue power suit that cost more than most cars. She rose with practiced grace, extending a hand. "Dr. Banner, welcome. I'm Madeline Stillwell, Senior VP of Hero Management." Her smile was warm, professional, completely manufactured. "Thank you for agreeing to meet." Banner ignored the hand, walked to the windows instead, looked out at Manhattan. Wrong, somehow, different from the New York he knew. Buildings in wrong places. Technology more advanced in some ways, more primitive in others. Not home. "You're not sending me home," Banner said quietly. "You want something else?" Stillwell's smile didn't falter. "Perceptive, yes. Let's be honest with each other." She gestured to the table. "Please, sit."
Banner turned, pulled out a chair, sat carefully. The furniture creaked under his weight but held. His eyes never left Stillwell's face. Homelander stood by the door, arms crossed. Not sitting. Not relaxing. Maeve was there too, silent, watching. A-Train fidgeted near the window. The message clear: "You're surrounded." Banner seemed unbothered. "You're powerful," Stillwell began. "Incredibly so. Compound V, our serum that creates soups, produces extraordinary abilities. But yours..." She shook her head. "We've never seen anything like it. You tanked Homelander's heat vision. His physical strikes caused destruction with a hand clap." She leaned forward. "Where we come from, Dr. Banner, that makes you extremely valuable." "I'm not merchandise," Banner said flatly. "No," Stillwell agreed. "You're a person. With needs. You need a place to stay. Resources. Help getting home, presumably. We can provide all that." Her smile warmed. "In exchange for reasonable cooperation." Define cooperation. Registration with VOT International. Standard medical evaluation, non-invasive, just baseline measurements. Media training. Public appearances. Possibly joining one of our hero teams if... No, Banner interrupted. Stillwell's smile froze. "Excuse me. I don't join teams. Don't do public appearances. Don't get registered like property." Banner's voice stayed level, but something underneath it, pressure, like stone grinding against stone. "Last people who tried to register me, control me, use me, it ended badly." "Dr. Banner," Stillwell's tone shifted, hardening slightly. "Let's be practical. You're in our world now. Our laws apply. Unregistered soups face serious legal consequences. Imprisonment. Or worse." She spread her hands. "We're offering you a much better option. Partnership. Protection. A place in society." "Society," Banner repeated. "You mean your corporation's pocket?" "Homila." Ender pushed off from the wall. "Watch yourself." Banner's eyes shifted to him. "Or what? You'll attack me again." "How'd that work out?" The temperature in the room plummeted. Homelander's jaw clenched. His hands curled into fists. For a moment, genuine murder flashed across his face, then Ashley's subtle head shake from the doorway. "Cameras. Witnesses. Control yourself." Homelander's smile snapped back into place. "Just trying to help you understand the situation." "I understand perfectly," Banner said. He looked back at Stillwell. "You see a weapon. Want to aim it. Control it. Profit from it." He stood, chair scraping backward. I've been a weapon before. For governments. For organizations. Banner straightened. Walked toward the door. Security guards tensed but didn't move. He passed Homelander, close enough to touch, deliberate, a statement, and the so-called strongest soup in the world did nothing. Banner reached the elevator. Pressed the button. The doors opened immediately, and he stepped inside. Turned. Made eye contact with Stillwell. When you're ready to ask, not demand, Banner said, I'll listen. The doors closed at in the conference room. Stillwell's phone buzzed. She answered without looking away from the elevator. Get me everything, she said coldly. Every camera angle, every feed, every piece of data. I want to know exactly what we're dealing with. And somebody find out, she paused, smile returning, sharp and predatory, what makes him vulnerable. Banner exited Vought Tower through the main lobby. Tourists scattered. Security guards reached for weapons but didn't draw. He pushed through the revolving doors into afternoon sun, into a city that felt wrong in his bones, too clean, too branded, too controlled. A black sedan pulled up to the curb. Not Vought, older model, dented fender, very deliberately unremarkable. The passenger window rolled down. Oi, Butcher called from the driver's seat. Need a lift? Banner studied him. British accent. Leather jacket. Face that had seen violence and returned the favor. The man radiated danger wrapped in casual confidence. Not corporate. Not clean. Something else entirely. Who are you? Banner asked. Someone who ain't fond of Vought. Butcher jerked his head toward the tower behind Banner. Someone who thinks you just made the best fucking decision of your life, walking away from that lot. Banner's eyes narrowed. You were watching. Mate, everyone was watching. Difference is, Butcher's grin sharpened, I was appreciating the show. Now get in before Homelander's fragile ego gets the better of him. Banner looked back at the tower. Cameras tracked him from every angle. Drones circling at altitude. He could feel the surveillance, the attention, the corporate machine recalculating how to acquire him. He got in the car. Butcher pulled into traffic smoothly. Billy Butcher. And yeah, before you ask, we're the bad guys. Least according to Vought. You fight them, Banner said. Not a question. Every fucking day. Butcher glanced sideways. You're not from around here. That dimensional rift bollocks, that real? Yes. Figures. Nothing that strong comes from Compound V. Not naturally, anyway. Butcher navigated through Manhattan traffic with practiced ease. Butcher killed the engine. Turned in his seat. His smile was sharp as broken glass. Because you're the first thing I've seen that scares Homelander. And that, Dr. Banner, makes you incredibly valuable to us. I won't be used, Banner said flatly. Not again. Not using. Offering. Butcher opened his door. Come meet the team. If you don't like what you see, walk away. We won't stop you. But at least hear us out. Banner followed him through a service entrance, up 3 flights of stairs, into what looked like an abandoned electronics store. The front windows were papered over. Security cameras, professional grade, covered every approach. Inside, mismatched furniture, computer equipment, tactical gear organized on a wall. 4 people looked up as they entered. Huey stood quickly, phone still in hand, nervous energy radiating off him. Holy shit. You actually brought him. Language, Petit Huey, a French accent drawled. Frenchie approached, studying Banner with open fascination. Bonjour. I am Frenchie. This is, he gestured, Marvin. We call him MM. MM nodded from his position near a weapons rack. Cautious. Evaluating. Document. The 4th person didn't speak. A young Asian woman, dark hair, watching Banner with eyes that had seen too much. She signed something. Banner recognized ASL basics, though he was rusty. Not scared. Should I be? Banner signed back clumsily. Something shifted in her expression. Not quite a smile. Respect, maybe. Kinship. That's Kimiko, Butcher said. Doesn't talk. Doesn't need to. He crossed to a mini fridge, pulled out beers. Tossed one to Banner. Welcome to the boys. We're what happens when you stop believing in heroes and start dealing with reality. Banner caught the beer but didn't open it. Which is? Vought International is corrupt as shit, said, voice flat and factual. They manufacture soups with compound V, control the N.
Not asking you to be, Butcher replied. Asking for an alliance, mutual benefit. You need a place to hide, resources, intel on how to navigate this world. We need, he shrugged, insurance, options. Someone Vought can't just disappear. Banner looked at each of them, saw desperation and determination, saw people broken by a system that called itself heroic, saw himself reflected in different faces. They'll come for me, Banner warned. Vought, government, whoever. Being near me is dangerous. Mate, Butcher laughed. We're already on their shit list. You being here don't change that. Huey stepped forward. Look, I get it. Being scared of what you can do, of hurting people. His voice cracked slightly. But you saved those people today, in the building. You could have let them die, focused on fighting Homelander. You didn't. That means something. Banner studied the kid, saw earnestness, genuine belief, the kind of idealism that hadn't been beaten out of him yet. It reminded Banner of someone, of himself, once, before everything went wrong. Temporary, Banner said finally. I stay until I figure out how to get home, or until it's too dangerous for you. Fair enough, Butcher agreed immediately. And I don't kill, no matter what. No killing, confirmed. We draw lines too. Banner nodded slowly, set the beer down, unopened. Then I guess we're working together. Frenchie clapped his hands. Magnifique! I have so many questions. The gamma radiation, how does it interact with your cellular structure? The transformation, is it metabolic or quantum? And the color? Later, interrupted. Let him breathe, Frenchie. Kimiko approached Banner, slow, deliberate. She signed and Frenchie translated. You protected civilians, could have destroyed them, chose not to. You are not monster, they will call you. Banner's throat tightened. Thank you. She nodded. Then, Kai, reefily, she reached out and touched his arm. Just a brief contact. Solidarity. Understanding between two people called monsters. Butcher stood, stretching. Right. Set him up in the back room. Frenchie, run threat assessment. What's Vaught's likely next move? Huey, keep monitoring social media. See how the narrative's playing. Kimiko, he paused. Your call. Kimiko looked at Banner, gestured. Stay? He nodded. She settled back into her chair, satisfied. Doc, Butcher said. Get comfortable. You're going to be here a while. And when Vought makes their next move, and they will, we're going to make sure they regret it. Banner looked around the space, at the mismatched furniture and tactical gear, at these broken people fighting a war they couldn't win. At his reflection in a dark window, green eyes glowing faintly, always present, always watching. Not home, but maybe, for now, somewhere close enough. One question, Banner said. What exactly do you have on Vought? What are you planning? Butcher's smile turned vicious. Everything, mate. We've got everything. We just needed someone who could help us use it. Someone Homelander can't intimidate, can't kill, can't control. He pulled out a laptop, opened files. Images appeared. Documents, videos, testimony. Proof of experiments, of murder, of corporate evil wrapped in red, white, and blue. Welcome to the boys, Butcher said. Let's burn these fuckers down. The back room was barely a room. Mattress on the floor, plastic chair, single bulb hanging from the ceiling. Banner had slept in worse. Had slept in caves, in cargo holds, in cells designed to contain him. This was luxury by comparison. He sat on the mattress, back against the wall, and closed his eyes. Tried to center himself. The anger was always there. Background radiation in his psyche, but controlled now. Managed. After Sakar, a knock on the doorframe, Huey stood there, holding 2 pizzas. We didn't know what you liked, so Butcher got half and half, pepperoni and... I think that's anchovies. MM's gonna be pissed. Banner opened his eyes. I'm not picky. Huey entered, set the boxes down, sat cross-legged on the floor. So, different universe, huh? Wow. What's it like? Your world? Complicated. Banner took a slice, ate mechanically. Heroes exist, real ones. But also, he paused, also the same problems. Organizations trying to control them, governments afraid of them, people who use power for themselves instead of others. Sounds familiar, Huey said quietly. Your girlfriend, Banner said. A-Train. Tell me what happened. Huey's face closed slightly. Then, with visible effort, he opened it again. Started talking. The story came in fits and starts. Robin, the street, the blur of motion, her body literally coming apart in his hands. Vaught's lawyers, the NDA, the blood money. The realization that heroes here weren't heroes at all. Banner listened without interrupting. When Huey finished, tears tracking silent down his face, Banner spoke. I killed someone once. Accidentally. Wrong place, wrong transformation. Collateral damage. His hands curled into fists. I told myself it was the Hulk. That Banner wasn't responsible. Took me years to accept. We're the same person. I'm responsible for all of it. How do you... Huey wiped his face. How do you live with that? You try to do better. Every day. Every choice. Banner met his eyes. You can't undo it. But you can make sure it means something. That you don't waste the time you have left. Huey nodded slowly. Is that why you're helping us? Partly. Banner took another slice. Mostly because Vought reminds me of every organization that's tried to use me. Shield, the military, even the Avengers. Sometimes. Everyone wants the weapon. Nobody wants the man. We want the man, Huey said, then flushed. I mean, not like I just meant... Banner almost smiled. I know what you meant. They ate in comfortable silence. Outside, MM was organizing equipment. Frenchie's voice carried from the main room, excitedly explaining something to Kimiko about gamma radiation half-life. Butcher was on the phone, voice low and threatening someone. They're good people, Huey said. Butcher acts like he's just in it for revenge, but he protects us, all of us. MM's got a daughter. Everything he does is for her. Frenchie and Kimiko. He trailed off. She was a prisoner. They were going to use her as a weapon. He saved her. Didn't have to. Just did. You all have reasons, Banner observed. Yeah. Huey looked at the wall. What's yours? I mean, besides being stuck here, why actually help us? You could just hide. Wait until you find a way home. Banner considered the question. Because hiding doesn't work. I tried that. Ran for years. Different countries, different identities. But the thing about power, people will always find you. Try to use you. So you can run or you can choose who you fight for. He gestured at the room. You're fighting for something real. Not politics.
Eventually. Maybe. The complexity. Park zoomed in on a cellular structure, its orders of magnitude beyond our current understanding. But we're learning. Analyzing. In 6 months, a year, we might have a working prototype. Not fast enough. Stillwell's finger tapped against her thigh. Thinking. Calculating. What about containment? Can we hold him? Theoretically. Park switched displays. Showed designs for a reinforced cell. Adamantium-infused walls, electromagnetic dampeners, redundant systems. Price tag would be astronomical, and even then. He hesitated. I'm not confident. His strength threshold remains unknown. He could be planet class. Maybe higher. Stillwell's smile was razor-thin. Then we don't try to hold him. We give him a reason to stay. Across town, in a small apartment in Queens, Annie January sat on her bed, laptop open, watching footage for the 5th time. The Green Giant, Banner, she'd learned his name was Banner, standing in front of that collapsing building. Holding tons of concrete. Counting heads. Making sure everyone got out that she'd been at the 7 meeting when the incident happened. Watched Homelander's face as he received updates. Watched him smile at the cameras while his fists clenched hard enough to crack the table underneath. Homelander was scared. She'd never seen that before. Annie pulled up another video. The confrontation. Banner refusing to fight back until Homelander struck first. The restraint. The control. The way he protected people even while being attacked, that was heroism. Real heroism. The kind she'd imagined when she was a kid in Iowa, before Vought, before she understood what the 7 actually was. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Text message, I know you're watching the footage. I know you're questioning. Good. Keep questioning. When you're ready to do something about it, respond to this message. A friend, an. NIE stared at the text. Could be Vought, testing her loyalty. Could be genuine. Could be a trap. She thought about Robin. About Huey Campbell, who'd lost her. About the lies she'd told on camera, the scripts she'd read, the people she'd failed to save because Vought's PR was more important than actual rescue. She typed, "Who is this?" The response came immediately. Someone who fights Vought. Someone who just recruited their nuclear option. Someone who could use a hero. A real one. Annie's hands shook. This was it. The moment. Crossed this line and there was no going back. Her career, her image, everything she'd worked for, gone. She thought of Banner, holding that building. Protecting strangers, she typed, "I'm listening." I in the boys' hideout. Butcher's laptop pinged. He glanced at the screen, smiled. Well. Starlight's growing a spine. Looked over his shoulder. You contacted her. That's risky. High reward though, in it. Butcher's fingers could be a setup, warned. Could be. But I don't think so. Butcher pulled up her file. She still believes. In the costume, the mission, all that bollocks. Finding out it's bullshit breaks people 2 ways, they double down or they break free. She's the breaking free type. In the back room, Banner felt it before he heard it. Vibration through the building structure. Subtle but distinct. Helicopter rotors. Multiple. Military grade. He stood quickly, moved to the main room. We have company. Butcher's head snapped up. How do you? I can feel the vibrations. 4 helicopters. Getting closer. Banner's eyes were already glowing faintly. You're being watched. Fuck. Butcher moved fast, pulling up security feeds. There. Drones. 5 of them. Been circling the perimeter for. He checked timestamps. 20 minutes. We were too focused on other shit. They found us already. Huey's voice cracked. How? Banner's jaw tightened. I led them here. Thermal signature. Gamma radiation. I'm sorry. Not your fault, mate. Butcher was already grabbing gear, throwing his tactical vest. Frenchie, how fast can you relocate the equipment? 10 minutes. Maybe 8. Not fast enough. Had a rifle in hands, checking the load. If they're doing surveillance, extraction team's already inbound. Banner moved toward the door. I'll draw them away. Give you time. No, Huey said quickly. That's what they want. They grab you, we lose our advantage. Huey's right. Butcher's smile turned vicious. Besides, they wanna dance. Let's fucking dance. But not here. He pulled up a map. There's a construction site 3 blocks north. Public space. Cameras everywhere. They try shit there, whole world sees. We're using me as bait, Banner realized. We're using you as a deterrent, Butcher corrected. Show Vought they can't just disappear you quietly. Make it loud. Mac. It public. Banner looked at them, this makeshift team, these broken people willing to fight. Willing to risk themselves for him, a stranger, because it was the right thing to do. Okay, he said. Let's make it loud. The construction site was a skeleton of steel and concrete, 30 stories of incomplete office building reaching toward the sky. Workers had gone home hours ago. Perfect stage. Empty enough to fight, public enough to matter. Banner stood in the center of the ground floor, exposed I-beams overhead, loose rebar scattered across concrete. Butcher and the boys were positioned in surrounding buildings, not to fight, but to film. Every angle covered. Every moment documented. They're here, MM's voice crackled through the earpiece Butcher had given Banner. Black vans. 12 of them. This isn't surveillance. This is extraction. Banner breathed slowly. Felt the Hulk stirring, always present, always ready. How many civilians nearby? Street's been cleared, Huey reported. But there's an apartment complex 2 blocks east. Families. Kids. I know. Banner had already cataloged every building, every exit, every potential collateral zone. Old habits. Battlefield awareness never left you, the vans arrived with tactical precision. Doors opened simultaneously. Men in black body armor emerged. The commander hesitated. Knew this was being recorded. Knew the optics. But orders were orders. Engage. The weapons fired. Different from before, not tranquilizers. Sonic disruptors, electromagnetic pulse rounds, experimental tech meant to incapacitate soups. The sound was deafening. Banner took 3 steps forward into the barrage, concrete cracking beneath his feet, nothing slowed him. A sonic grenade exploded at his feet. The shockwave shattered windows in the construction site, buckled steel. Banner's hair whipped from the force. He kept walking. Jesus, one soldier whispered. Loud enough for the mics to catch, then the building shook, not from the fight. From something else. Banner felt it through the ground, structural failure, wrong location. His head snapped toward the apartment complex Huey had mentioned. 2 blocks east. Where the vibration originated. No, he breathed. Saw it first through his scope. The apartment building. East side. It's collapsing. Banner moved before anyone could respond. Didn't leap, ran. Each footstep cracked pavement, but he moved with surprising control for something his size. The tactical teams scattered as he charged past them, forgotten. 2 blocks. He covered it in seconds. The apartment building was old. 6 stories. The kind where families lived because rent was cheap, where kids played in hallways, where people made do. The east wall had buckled, structural failure, or sabotage. Banner didn't know and didn't care. What mattered, the building was coming down, and people were inside. Banner hit the base of the building like a missile, hands finding purchase on crumbling brick. The collapse was already starting, gravity, physics, inevitability. Tons of concrete and steel sliding toward disaster that he pushed back, muscles strained. Feet dug into asphalt, cracking through to bedrock. Every fiber of his body engaged. The building groaned, momentum fighting him. For a moment, the outcome balanced on a knife's edge, then Banner roared. The sound was primal. Louder than the sonic weapons, louder than the destruction. It carried blocks away, rattled windows, set off car alarms in waves. And with the roar came raw power, not rage, but determination. The building stopped falling. Everyone out. Banner's voice boomed. Now. Residents poured from exits. Parents carrying children. Elderly couples helping each other. A mother paused in the doorway, staring up at the green giant holding her home from collapse, and Banner met her eyes. Go, he said. Quieter. Almost gentle. I've got it. She ran. Huey was filming from across the street, hands shaking so badly the footage jumped. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's holding up a fucking building, Butcher finished. Get every second of this. It took 4 minutes to evacuate. 4 minutes of Banner supporting thousands of tons, body screaming, muscles burning, the Hulk roaring inside him to smash, to destroy, to let it fall and leap away. But Banner held control. Counted heads. Made sure 73 people emerged. He counted every one.
When the last resident cleared the safety perimeter, a teenage girl clutching a cat carrier, Banner shifted his grip, found the building's center of gravity, and with careful, deliberate precision, he guided the collapse. Controlled demolition instead of catastrophe. The building folded into itself, dust cloud erupting, but contained, controlled, no one hurt. Banner stood in the debris, breathing hard, skin steaming from exertion, green fading slightly from his eyes. He looked at the families huddled behind barriers, at the children being held by crying parents. They stared back. Then someone started clapping, a single person, then another. Then the teenage girl with the cat. Then her mother. The sound spread, applause, genuine and spontaneous, rippling through the crowd. Not for a performance, for salvation. Banner looked surprised, almost vulnerable. "Thank you," the mother called, clear voice carrying. "You saved my baby. You saved all of us." In Vought Tower, Ashley Barrett watched the live feeds with growing horror. "This is a disaster. We need to spin this immediately." Stillwell stood beside her, face calm. "Already done. Watch." The news stations, Vought-owned, Vought-controlled, pivoted within minutes. New headlines. Unregistered soup causes building collapse. Vigilantes' recklessness endangers families. Who is responsible for today's destruction? The footage was edited. Banner approaching the building, the collapse starting. Strategic cuts that implied causation. Expert commentators, Vought paid, analyzing the danger of uncontrolled superpowers. "It was sabotage," MM said flatly, watching the news spin from the construction site. He'd reached Banner's position. "Look at the blast pattern. The support columns were deliberately weakened. They caused this." "To make me look dangerous," Banner said, realization sinking in. "They knew I'd respond, knew I'd save them, and they filmed it to make me the villain." "Welcome to Fighting Vought," Butcher said. He'd arrived with the others, the tactical team having retreated during the rescue. "They'll burn down an orphanage and blame you for the ashes." But Huey was still filming. "The people here know the truth. Look at them." The crowd hadn't dispersed. They surrounded Banner, not threatening, but protective. Someone offered water. A kid, maybe 8, tugged on his mother's sleeve and pointed. "Mom, that's the hero. The real one." Starlight watched the footage from her apartment, watched Vaught's spin machine work in real time, watched the truth get buried under corporate narrative. She pulled up her phone, the message thread with "a friend." She typed, "I'm in. What do you need?" The response: everything you can give us, starting with building schematics. They'll try to contain him next. We need to know where. Annie's hands hovered over the keyboard. This was treason, career suicide, possibly actual prison. She thought of Banner holding that building, of the families walking out alive. She started typing. At the construction site, the tactical teams regrouped. Different approach now. The commander received new orders via earpiece, nodded, looked at Banner with something resembling respect, mixed with resignation. "Dr. Banner," he called. "I've been ordered to cease engagement." Banner tensed. "Why?" "Because," a new voice called, amplified and theatrical, "we're trying a different approach." Homelander descended from the sky, cape billowing. A-Train blurred into position beside him. Black Noir emerged from shadows. Queen Maeve landed with controlled grace. The deep's water constructs rose from a nearby hydrant. The 7, most of them anyway. "Look at you," Homelander said, smile wide and empty. "Playing hero, saving people. It's adorable." He floated closer. "But here's the thing, Bruce. Heroism requires licenses, training, oversight. You don't get to just..." He gestured at the rubble. "Do whatever you want." "I saved 73 people," Banner said flatly. "You destroyed a building," Homelander countered. "Caused millions in property damage, terrified civilians. That's not heroism. That's vigilantism." The crowd behind Banner stirred. "He saved us!" someone shouted. "The building was falling!" Homelander's smile tightened. He hated being contradicted, especially on camera. "I'm sure it seemed that way to you, but structural engineers will determine the actual cause. In the meantime," he looked back at Banner, "you're coming with us, peacefully, or we make you." Banner looked at the 7, at Homelander's barely restrained violence, at the crowd behind him, at the cameras everywhere, recording, broadcasting, judging. He thought of Sakaar, of the arena, of every time he'd been forced to fight for someone else's entertainment. "No," Banner said. His voice carried. "I won't." Homelander's eyes began to glow. "Wrong answer." "Think carefully," Banner said, his voice stayed level despite the tension radiating off him. "There are civilians behind me. Families. Children. You attack me here, people get hurt." "Then move away from them," Homelander said, still smiling, always smiling. "Unless you're hiding behind innocent people, which would be pretty cowardly for someone so strong." The manipulation was textbook. Make Banner choose between protecting civilians and looking weak. Banner had seen it before. Different world, same tactics. "I'm not hiding," Banner said. "I'm standing between them and you." Homelander's eye twitched. The smile cracked. "You think I'd hurt civilians? I think you don't care if you do." Banner's eyes glowed brighter. "I've met heroes, real ones. You're not one of them." The crowd murmured. Phones raised higher. This was content, raw, unscripted, real. A-Train vibrated with nervous energy. "Homelander, maybe we should..." "Shut up!" Homelander snapped, then caught himself, smile snapping back. "I mean, stand down, I've got this."
But he didn't. The uncertainty was visible. Banner wasn't intimidated, wasn't backing down, and the cameras were watching. Every second Homelander delayed made him look weaker. Queen Maeve stepped forward. Her voice was quieter, meant only for Homelander. "This is a bad play. He hasn't actually broken any laws. Just saved people. He's unregistered," Homelander hissed back. "So arrest him properly. Through courts. Not street brawls on camera." Maeve's eyes flicked to the phones, the live streams. "We look like bullies. We look like heroes maintaining order," Homelander countered. But his voice had lost confidence. The narrative was slipping that in the crowd, a woman pushed forward. The mother from earlier, the one whose child Banner had saved. She positioned herself between Banner and the seven, arms spread. "You're not taking him," she said. Voice shaking but determined. "He saved my daughter. He saved all of us." Others joined her. A slow trickle, then a flood. Civilians forming a human barrier, phones raised like shields, recording everything. "Ma'am, a train started, you need to move, or what?" she challenged. "You'll run through me. Like you did to Robin." A train froze. The name hit him like a physical blow. Huey had made sure that footage circulated, that Robin's story was known. A train's face drained of color. Homelander's patience shattered. "Everyone back. This is a matter of national security. If you interfere, then what?" Banner interrupted. His voice wasn't loud, but it carried weight. "You'll hurt them. Prove my point. Show everyone what you really are." Homelander's hands clenched. Heat vision charged, eyes glowing bright red. The threat was clear, imminent, dangerous, broadcast to millions. Banner stepped in front of the crowd. "Go ahead. But you go through me first." The standoff stretched. Seconds feeling like hours. Homelander's finger twitched. Toward that final decision, attack, consequences be damned, when a new voice cut through. "Stand down, Homelander." Starlight walked into the scene. Still in costume, but something had changed in her posture. No more performance. No more artificial smile. She looked tired. Real. "Starlight?" Homelander's surprise was genuine. "What are you?" I said. "Stand down." She positioned herself beside Banner. Not aggressive. But clear. "This is wrong and you know it." "Excuse me." Homelander's voice dropped to something dangerous. "You're contradicting me. On camera." "Yes." Starlight's hands began to glow with her power. "Because someone needs to. He saved those people, Homelander. He risked himself. That's what heroes do." "He's not a registered, neither was I when I started," Starlight interrupted. "In Iowa. Before Vought. I saved people because it was right. Not because someone told me I could." She looked at Banner. "That's what he did today." Homelander's face cycled through emotions, shock, rage, calculation. Landing on something cold and final. "You're making a mistake." "Maybe." Starlight's voice didn't waver. "But it's mine to make." The crowd erupted in approval. Cheers, applause, the sound of a narrative shifting in real time. Social media exploded, #Starlight stands, #RealHeroes, #Banner saved us trending within minutes. "Bruce," Banner replied. Then, quieter, "Thank you. You didn't have to do that." "Yeah, I did." Annie glanced at the sky where Homelander had vanished. Been needing to do that for a long time. Just needed a reason. She pulled out her phone. "I have intel. On Vought. Things they're planning. If you're interested." "He's interested," Butcher said, appearing from the crowd. He'd switched to civilian clothes, just another bystander. "Dr. Banner, Starlight. We should relocate. Somewhere private. Before Vought sends round 2. Annie looked at him. Recognition flickered. "You're Billy Butcher. Vought has files on you." "Course they do, love. I'm a right pain in their arse." Butcher's grin was sharp. "You just burned your bridges with the 7. Come with us, or face whatever punishment Homelander's dreaming up." Annie looked at Banner. At Butcher. At the crowd still filming. She thought of Robin. Of Huey. Of every lie she told herself about heroism and sacrifice. "Okay," she said. "Let's go." They moved through the crowd, civilians providing cover. Had a van waiting 3 blocks away, different vehicle, clean plates. They piled in. That was insane, Huey said from the back. Starlight. You're actually Starlight. In our van. This is insane. Huey, breathe, ordered. Right. Breathing. Cool. Huey stared at Annie. You were dating the Deep. Briefly. It was. Annie's face tightened. Complicated. And over. He's a wanker, Butcher announced, pulling into traffic. Right, introductions later. Starlight, you said intel. Annie pulled up files on her phone. Vought's building a containment facility. Sub-level 12 of the tower. Classified project. It's designed for Banner specifically. They've been using his cellular samples, modeling the specs around his power signature. Banner's jaw clenched. How long? Construction started 3 hours after you arrived. They've been working around the clock. Annie scrolled through schematics. It's not done yet, but close. Maybe a week. They planned this from the start, said. Never intended to negotiate. Just delay until the cage was ready. Pretty much. Annie looked at Banner. I'm sorry. I should have warned you earlier. You're warning me now, Banner said. That counts. Frenchie's voice crackled through comms. Butcher, we have problem. The hideout, it's been raided. Police, Vought security, everyone. They took the computers, the equipment. Fuck. Butcher's hands tightened on the wheel. Anyone hurt? Kimiko and I got out. But they found us. Found everything. Where are you now? Safe house. The one on 47th. But Butcher, Frenchie's voice dropped, they arrested someone. At the hideout. Someone who was looking for us. Butcher's face went cold. Who? A young man. Glasses. He had your card. Huey's blood drained. No. No. That's Sam. My roommate. He must have gone to find me, thought something happened. They have him, Frenchie confirmed. Took him to Vought Tower. Holding him on terrorism charges. Silence in the van. The pieces clicking into place. Vought couldn't directly attack Banner without looking like villains. But they could take his allies. Apply pressure indirectly. Banner's eyes flashed green. Not your fault, said firmly. Vought's fault. They're the ones who. Huey's phone buzzed. Unknown number. Text message. He opened it with trembling hands. The message, we have Sam Campbell. Completely innocent, as far as we can tell. But he's connected to known terrorists. Unless Dr. Banner surrenders for registration within 24 hours, Sam faces federal charges. Life in prison. Your choice, Bruce. A photo attached. Sam in a cell, confused and scared, bruises already forming. Banner stared at the image. At this innocent person suffering because of him. Because he'd sought allies, accepted help, allowed people to care. No, Huey whispered. Please no. Banner's hands curled into fists. The metal of the van door crumpled under his grip. They want me. They can have me. Mate, that's exactly what I won't let an innocent person suffer for me, Banner said. His voice was stone. Final. Not again. Stop the van, Banner said. Not a request. A statement. Banner, think about this, started. I have. Banner's voice was controlled, but the pressure underneath was building. They took an innocent person. Made him a hostage. If I don't surrender, Sam goes to prison. Maybe worse. I can't allow that. You walk into that tower, Butcher said, still driving, you're not walking out. They'll cage you, study you, use you. Everything you are becomes Vought property. Better than letting someone else pay for my existence. Huey looked up, tears streaming. Bruce, no. You can't, your friend is suffering because of me. Banner met his eyes. I won't let that continue. Annie spoke quietly. They're counting on that. On you being noble. It's a trap. I know it's a trap. Banner's hands relaxed slightly, releasing the crumpled door. Doesn't change what I have to do. Bollocks. Butcher yanked the wheel, pulling into an alley. Killed the engine. Turned in H's seat. You think surrendering saves him? It doesn't. Vought'll keep Sam anyway, use him for leverage whenever they need you to perform. And next time it'll be someone else. Then someone else. You submit once, they own you forever. Banner's jaw clenched. What's the alternative? Let him rot. No, said. We get him out. From Vought Tower. Banner's laugh was bitter. You've been trying to take them down for years. You think you can just extract a prisoner? We couldn't before, Butcher said slowly. His smile grew, predatory and sharp. Now we have you. Banner stared. You want to use me as a distraction. I want to use you as a battering ram, Butcher corrected. You walk in the front door, make a lot of noise, draw every security measure they have. While they're focused on containing you, we infiltrate from below. Starlight.
Some of them, not all, and if they catch us, they won't. Butcher's confidence was absolute, probably unearned. Because Banner's gonna give them the show of their lives. Every camera, every guard, every soup they have, focused on him while we slip through the cracks. Banner considered it. The variables, the risk factors, the probability of success. The scientist in him calculated odds. Maybe 20%. Probably less. What's your timeline? He asked. Sam's being held in sub-level detention, Annie said, pulling up schematics. Different wing from the containment facility they're building. Security's heavy but not impenetrable. If we move fast, 20 minutes maybe, in and out. 20 minutes of me fighting the entire tower, Banner said. You held a building for 4, Huey pointed out, voice steadier now, hope creeping in. This is just fighting. You can do that. Fighting means people get hurt. So does surrendering, said. Vought hurts people every day. This way we at least save one. Maybe save you too. Banner looked at each of them, at Butcher's vicious certainty, at MM's pragmatic assessment, at Huey's desperate hope, at Annie's determination despite the fear, at people willing to risk themselves for someone they barely knew. If this goes wrong, Banner said slowly, if Sam gets hurt because of this, then we live with it, Butcher interrupted. Like we live with everything else Vaught's done. But we try, mate. We fucking try. Because that's what heroes do. Banner almost smiled. I thought you didn't believe in heroes. I don't. But I believe in you. Butcher's voice lost its edge, turned genuine for once. You could have let that building fall. Could have let Homelander take you without risking civilians. Could have walked away from all of us. You didn't. That means something. Banner was quiet for a long moment. Then, okay, we do this your way. But I need parameters, clear extraction signal. If it fails, I surrender. No arguments. Deal, Butcher agreed immediately. And no killing. Anyone, no matter what. Butcher's smile tightened. Even if they're actively trying to kill us? Especially then. Banner's eyes met his. I've seen what happens when you cross that line. How easy it becomes. How it changes you. His voice dropped. I won't be responsible for that. Not again. Emma nodded respect. We can work with that. They spent the next hour planning. Annie provided building layouts, security rotations, camera blind spots. Frenchie joined via video call, offering technical support for electronic locks. Kimiko appeared on screen, signing rapidly. Frenchie translated. She wanted to go inside, provide backup. Too risky, Butcher said. If you get caught... Kimiko signed again, sharper. Frenchie hesitated, then translated. She says Bruce is risking everything. She will too. Banner looked at her through the screen. At her determination, her solidarity. Thank you, he said. She nodded once. Not monster, she signed. Family. The word hit Banner harder than Homelander's punch had. Family. He'd had that once. Where do you want me after I make entry? Banner asked. Hold lobby. Draw everything. When we signal, 3 clicks on comms. You break for sub-level detention. Meet us at the extraction point. And if you don't signal? Then I surrender to Vought, Banner said. That was the deal. Butcher nodded slowly. One way or another, this ends tonight. Sam gets out, or we all go down trying. They synchronized watches, checked equipment. Annie changed out of her Starlight costume into tactical gear. Watching her shed the cape and the persona was like watching someone remove a mask. She looked younger, more real. You okay? Huey asked her quietly. No, Annie said honestly. I'm terrified and angry. And... She paused. I think I'm done being Starlight. At least the version Vought created. What about the version you create? Huey asked. She looked at him. Really looked. Yeah, maybe that one's worth being. At 02:45 they moved into position. Banner approached Vought Tower alone, walking through empty streets. This late the city was quiet, just him, the concrete and the glass monolith ahead. His phone buzzed. Text from Butcher. Remember, big and loud. Give them hell. Banner typed back. Heroism isn't about permission. It's about doing what's right when no one else will. He sent it. Then he stepped up to the tower's main entrance. Security cameras tracked him. Alarms began wailing. Lights flooded on. Banner raised his fist and knocked on the door. The reinforced glass doors shattered under Banner's fist. Not from overwhelming force, from precise application. Enough to break the barrier, not enough to send shrapnel into the lobby beyond. Banner stepped through, glass crunching under his feet, into Vought International's crown jewel. The lobby was corporate cathedral, marble floors, chrome fixtures, a massive statue of the Seven dominating the center, everything designed to intimidate, to remind visitors they were in the presence of gods. Banner walked toward the elevators. Alarms shrieked. Steel barriers dropped from the ceiling, sealing exits. Gun ports opened in walls, automated defense systems. Red targeting lasers painted Banner's chest from a dozen angles. Dr. Banner, a synthesized voice announced. You are trespassing on private property. Surrender immediately or lethal force will be authorized. Banner kept walking. Where's Sam Campbell? The guns fired. Armor-piercing rounds designed to stop soups, to penetrate compound Vi-enhanced flesh. They sparked off Banner's skin like rain on stone. He didn't flinch, didn't slow, just walked through the barrage, leaving a trail of flattened bullets across marble. He reached the Seven statue, grabbed Homelander's bronze leg, twisted. The metal groaned, then tore free. Banner held it like a bat, turned toward the nearest wall. Sub-level detention, he said calmly. Where is it? He swung. The bronze leg smashed through the wall, through the hidden security station beyond. Guards scrambled away, radios squawking. Banner stepped through the hole, looked at them. I don't want to hurt anyone, he said. Just tell me where Sam Campbell is being held. One guard, braver or more foolish than the others, raised his weapon. Banner's hand shot out, not striking, just taking. He crushed the gun into scrap metal, dropped it. Please.
Huey's phone buzzed. Text from Frenchie. security mobilizing. All personnel to lobby. You have window. Maybe 5 minutes. Banner's doing his job, muttered. Now we do ours. In the lobby, reinforcements arrived. Tactical teams in full gear, supported by soups from Vought's B-list, heroes not famous enough for the 7, but powerful enough to matter. A pyrokinetic launched fire. An earth manipulator raised stone barriers. A telekinetic hurled debris, Banner took it all. Fire washed over him harmlessly. Stone shattered against his shoulders. Debris bounced away. He wasn't fighting back, not really. Just advancing, implacable, toward the stairwell access. Stand down, he called. I don't want to fight you. A speedster blurred forward, attempting the A-train maneuver. Banner caught him mid-run, hand closing around the soup's arm. Gentle but firm. The speedster's momentum transferred into Banner's mass, stopping him cold. Don't make me hurt you, Banner said. The speedster looked at his trapped arm. At Banner's eyes, glowing but not enraged. At the restraint visible in every movement. Jesus, the speedster whispered. You really don't want to. Banner released him. Leave. All of you. This isn't your fight. Some did. Calculation visible on faces. Whatever Vought paid wasn't worth fighting something that tanked fire and caught speedsters like flies. Others held position, loyal or scared of consequences. Then the ceiling exploded, Homelander descended through the hole, cape billowing, face twisted with rage barely contained under that plastic smile. A-Train and Black Noir flanked him, A-Train reluctant, Noir readying blades. You just don't learn, do you? Homelander's voice echoed across the ruined lobby. Breaking and entering. Destruction of property. Assaulting Vought personnel. That's it, Bruce. You're done. Where's Sam Campbell? Banner asked. Still calm. Till controlled. Release him and I'll leave. Release him. Homelander laughed. He's a terrorist sympathizer. Connected to known anti-Vought extremists. He's exactly where he belongs. He's innocent and you know it. Innocence is a matter of perspective. Homelander floated closer, heat vision charging. And you're not in a position to make demands. Banner's eyes flashed brighter. Neither are you. Below, the extraction team reached sub-level detention. Rows of cells, most empty. Vought preferred making problems disappear rather than holding them. Annie's card accessed the security system. There, she pointed. Cell 47. Through the small window, Sam's face appeared, bruised, frightened, but alive. Huey rushed forward. Sam! Sam, it's me. We're getting you out. The lock mechanism engaged. Door sliding open. Sam stumbled out, nearly collapsed. Huey caught him. Huey! What's happening? They said you were arrested, that I was, later, said. Move. Now. They ran. Annie led, retracing their route, but faster now, stealth sacrificed for speed. Alarms were already sounding. The window was closing that eye in the lobby. Homelander attacked, heat vision at full power, sustained blast designed to vaporize. Banner crossed his arms, took it. The beams hammered against his skin, the force pressing him backward, boots carving furrows in marble. But his skin held. The green glow intensified, and he walked forward into the beam. Impossible, Homelander hissed, pouring more power into it. Banner kept coming. Reached the end of the beam. Black Noir came from behind, blade aimed for Banner's neck. Banner caught his wrist without looking, twisted, not breaking, but controlling. Noir's blade clattered away. I don't want to hurt you, Banner said again. Any of you. Just let me leave. Homelander rose from the rubble. His smile was gone entirely now. Face twisted with genuine rage, ego shattered by public humiliation. You want to leave? Fine. But you're not leaving with Sam Campbell. Banner's stomach dropped. What? You think we're stupid? Homelander's laugh was slightly unhinged. We knew you'd try something. Sam's not in detention anymore. Below, the extraction team reached the service elevator. Sam leaning on Huey, covering their exit, Annie jamming the controls to buy time. Kimiko watched their backs. The elevator arrived. Doors opened, the elevator was full of armed guards. And standing in the center, smile wide and empty, was Ashley Barrett. Hello, Starlight, she said pleasantly. Going somewhere? In the lobby, Frenchie's voice crackled in Banner's ear. Bruce. We have problem. They moved Sam. Cell was decoy. We are trapped. Banner's eyes blazed pure emerald. The Hulk roared forward, straining against Banner's control. Rage building, not mindless, but focused. Directed. Where is he? Banner's voice deepened, echoed. Homelander's smile returned. Somewhere safe. Somewhere you'll never reach. And unless you surrender right now, he pulled out a phone, showed a live feed, Sam in a different cell, needles attached to his arms, clear liquid in 4 bags, he receives a very special dose of Compound V, experimental formula. 90% fatality rate. Let's see if he's one of the lucky 10%, shall we? Banner stared at the screen. At Sam's terrified face. At the 4 drip inches from his veins. At the impossible choice. You have 10 seconds, Homelander said. Submit to containment. Or Sam dies screaming. Banner's hands curled into fists. Every muscle tensed. The Hulk raged inside him, demanding release, demanding he smash everything, tear Homelander apart, reduce this corporate monument to rubble, but Sam would die. 5 seconds, Homelander said, finger hovering over the phone. Banner looked at the screen. At Sam's face. At innocence caught in a war not his own. He thought of Betty Ross. Of every person who'd suffered because they knew him. The curse of caring, it gave your enemies leverage. 3 seconds. Banner took a step forward. Toward Homelander. Toward submission. Toward the cage. Then Annie's voice crackled in his ear. Bruce. Don't. In the service corridor, Annie stood facing Ashley and the guards. Her hands began to glow, light building between her palms. Not the controlled, camera-ready glow. Raw power, unfiltered. You're making a mistake, Starlight, Ashley said. Her voice stayed pleasant, but sweat beaded her forehead. Assaulting Vought personnel is exactly what I should have done months ago, Annie interrupted. Her eyes blazed white. I'm done with your scripts. Your lies. Your threats. The light exploded outward, guards raised arms to shield eyes, blinded. Annie moved, grabbed Sam from Huey, shoved him toward Get him out. Maintenance shaft, east wall. Didn't argue. Grabbed Sam, Huey following. Kimiko stayed with Annie, signing rapid. Together, Annie smiled. Together. They advanced. Annie's light disorienting, Kimiko's strikes precise and devastating. Not killing, both had lines they wouldn't cross, but the button. Wrong answer, Banner's hand shot out. Impossibly fast for something his size. Grabbed the phone, crushed it to sparking fragments. You want to threaten innocent people? Do it in person. Not hiding behind screens. You just killed him. Homelander screamed, rage finally breaking through the smile. That was his only chance. No, Banner said. That was you lying. Sam's not wherever that camera showed. Probably stock footage. Different prisoner. You needed me to believe it long enough to surrender. Homelander's face flickered, just for a second. Confirmation. You bluffed, Banner continued. Because you're not a monster. You're a narcissist. You need people to see you as a hero. Killing Sam on camera, even accidentally, that's not the image. Banner's eyes glowed brighter. You want me? Stop hiding behind hostages and fight me. Homelander's composure shattered. He launched forward, fists flying. Real fighting now, not posturing, not performance. Genuine violence. They collided like asteroids, the impact shockwave shattering every window in the lobby. Banner took the hits. Counted them. Waited. Then caught Homelander's fist mid-swing. Looked him in the eyes. I've toppled empires, Banner said quietly. What's one corporation? He headbutted Homelander. The crack echoed. Homelander flew backward, crashed through 3 walls, into the building's structural core. East exit. Banner roared into his comm, coming through. He charged. Not toward Homelander. Toward where his internal map, constantly updating, constantly cataloging, placed the maintenance corridors. The eastern wall. Where his team was trapped, he hit the wall at full speed. Stone, steel, reinforced concrete, designed to withstand explosions, earthquakes, soup battles. Banner went through it like tissue paper. And the wall behind it. And the next. Creating a corridor of destruction, a tunnel st. Right toward his people, below, dragged Sam through the maintenance shaft. Huey lit the way with his phone. Behind them, Annie and Kimiko held the line against reinforcements pouring in, then the wall beside them exploded outward. Banner emerged through the dust, green eyes finding them immediately. Everyone okay? He asked. Little busy here. Annie blasted another guard. Banner turned, placed himself between the boys and the guards. His presence alone made them hesitate. Some lowered weapons. Others ran. Go, Banner ordered. I'll hold them. Not leaving you, Huey said. Voice firm despite the fear. I'm right behind you. Promise. Banner looked at him. Get Sam to safety. That's the mission. Nodded. Don't make me come back for you. They ran. Banner stood in the corridor, alone, facing the gathering security force. Homelander would recover any second. More soups would arrive. This was the moment, fight his way out or get buried. His phone buzzed. Text from a number he didn't recognize, the message, all of Vought's watching. But so is everyone else. Every phone, every camera outside. We're streaming everything. They can't hide this. Make it count. Frenchie, Banner looked up. Saw cameras in the walls. Vought surveillance. But also, he noticed a phone, dropped by a guard, still recording. Live streaming, millions watching.
He turned toward the nearest camera, spoke clearly. My name is Bruce Banner. I came to this world by accident. Vought tried to control me, cage me, use me. When I refused, they took an innocent person, Sam Campbell, as leverage. He gestured at the destruction around him. I didn't want this, but I won't let corporations decide who's worthy of freedom, who deserves rights, who gets to be called a hero. Footsteps behind him. Homelander, A-Train, Black Noir, the Seven's remnants, ready for round 2. Banner didn't turn, just kept speaking to the camera. They'll tell you I'm dangerous, a monster, a threat. Maybe I am, but I'm a monster who chooses to save people, who protects innocents, who stands between bullies and victims. He finally turned, faced Homelander. What does that make you? Homelander's hands clenched, heat vision charged. But he didn't fire. Couldn't. The cameras were watching. The world was watching. One wrong move and the mask he'd worn for years would crack beyond repair. "This isn't over," Homelander said through gritted teeth. "I know," Banner agreed. "But today we saved someone. That's enough." He walked toward the exit, toward where the boys were waiting. Homelander didn't stop him. Couldn't. Not with millions watching. Not without confirming everything Banner had said. Banner stepped into the night air. The boys were there, van running, doors open, Huey helping Sam inside. They'd made it. All of them. "Go, go, go!" Butcher shouted. Banner climbed in. The van peeled out. Behind them, Vought Tower stood, wounded and exposed, smoke rising from Banner's tunnel through its walls. Inside the van, silence. Then Sam spoke, voice shaking. "Did that really just happen?" "Yeah," Huey said quietly. "Yeah, it did." Banner leaned back, exhaustion finally hitting. Not physical, the Hulk never tired, but emotional, the cost of choosing violence, even just, defied violence. Of becoming the weapon again, even for the right reasons. Annie's hand found his shoulder. "Thank you." "Don't thank me yet," Banner said. "This was just round one. Vought won't let this go." "Let them come," Butcher said from the driver's seat. His grin was vicious. "We've got our nuclear option, and the whole world just watched you embarrass Homelander on live television." Banner's phone exploded with notifications, social media, news alerts, video clips going viral, #Banner saves, #real heroes, #Vought exposed, the narrative shifting in real time. He'd exposed himself, made enemies of the most powerful corporation in this world, put everyone around him in danger. But Sam was safe. The boys were safe. Maybe that was enough. The safe house was actually Frenchie's cousin's apartment in Brooklyn. Third floor walk-up, rent-controlled, owner conveniently out of the country. Not secure against a determined assault, but anonymous. In a city of 8 million, sometimes the best hiding place was being unremarkable. Sam sat on the couch, hands wrapped around tea he wasn't drinking. Shock setting in. Huey sat beside him explaining in fragments. Vaught's corruption, the boy's mission, how Sam had accidentally walked into a war. "You were just looking for me," Huey said quietly. "I'm so sorry. This is..." "Don't!" Sam's voice cracked. "Don't apologize. You saved me. That..." He gestured at Banner, who stood by the window watching the street. "He saved me. They were going to..." He couldn't finish. Banner didn't turn from the window. "You're safe now." "For how long?" Sam asked. Genuine question. "They know who I am, where I live, my family. We'll protect them," said. Firm, professional. "Relocation if necessary. Vought comes after civilians. That's a line even they think twice about crossing publicly." "Think twice isn't the same as won't," Sam pointed out. "No," agreed. "It's not. But we're good at keeping people alive. It's what we do." Butcher's phone rang. He answered, listened, smiled slowly. "Turn on the telly. Channel 7. Frenchie grabbed the remote. The news filled the screen, not Vaught's controlled networks, but independent stations. The footage was everywhere. Banner's tunnel through Vought Tower, his speech to the cameras, Homelander's face, barely contained rage, the rescue. The anchor's voice. "Unprecedented breach of Vought security. Dr. Banner, the mysterious enhanced individual who appeared in Manhattan 3 days ago, successfully infiltrated Vought Tower to rescue Sam Campbell, an innocent civilian allegedly being held on false terrorism charges. Vought has issued a statement." Ashley Barrett's face appeared. She looked exhausted, makeup barely concealing stress. "Vought International deeply regrets any miscommunication regarding Mr. Campbell's detention. He was being held for questioning as part of an ongoing investigation." We're pleased he's been safely returned and apologize for any distress. As for Dr. Banner's actions, the channel switched. Different network, different narrative. Calls it a rescue. Vought calls it terrorism. But the footage speaks for itself. Banner deliberately minimized casualties, protected his team, and made his motivations clear. Public opinion is divided, but one thing's certain: Homelander bled. Again. And that changes everything. Another switch. Social media compilations scrolling past. The discourse was explosive. Real hero. Watch. Banner held a building, saved 70+ people, rescued an innocent man from Vought. That's heroism. Period. Banner is a hero. Vought, defender. He's a vigilante, unregistered, dangerous. We have laws for a reason. Support Vought at Truth Seeker 2026. Funny how Vought's laws only apply to people they can't control. Banner exposed them. #Vought corruption at Starfight. Fan. Did anyone else see Starlight fighting with Banner? She left the 7 for this. That means something. #Starlight stands. The split was clear. Roughly 60-40 against Vought. Momentum shifting. Banner's speech had landed. The cameras had done their job. Butcher muted the TV. Well, Doc, you're officially famous, and officially wanted by every 3-letter agency in existence. They can get in line, Banner muttered. Annie emerged from the bathroom, having finally shed the last of her Starlight costume. Jeans and a sweatshirt, hair down, no makeup. She looked simultaneously younger and more real. My phone's been blowing up, she said, scrolled through messages. Vought lawyers, PR team, Homelander directly, that's 17 missed calls, the Deep asking if I'm okay, which is... She paused. Actually kind of surprising. What's Homelander saying? asked. Annie opened a voicemail on speaker. Homelander's voice filled the room, controlled, pleasant, with razors underneath.
Annie. It's me. Listen, I know you're confused right now. That Banner guy, he's manipulating you. Using you. Come back to the tower. We can fix this. You're still one of us. You'll always be one of us. Just, come home. Please. The message ended. Silence. That's not a request, Butcher said flatly. That's a threat wrapped in sentiment. I know. Annie deleted it. I'm not going back. Whatever happens, I'm not, her voice firmed. I'm done being their product. Huey looked at her with something approaching awe. You gave up everything. The 7. Fame. Money. For people you barely know. For doing what's right, Annie corrected. That's supposed to be the job, isn't it? Before Vought got involved. In Vought Tower, Madeline Stillwell stood in her office, tablet showing damage assessments, financial projections, PR nightmare metrics. Homelander paced behind her, movements jerky with barely contained violence. He humiliated me, Homelander said. Not shouting. Worse. Cold. On camera. Again. Yes. Stillwell didn't sugarcoat it. He did. And you want me to do nothing? I want you to be smart. Stillwell turned. He's not just strong, John. He's a symbol now. A martyr. You kill him publicly, you prove every accusation he made. We need to be strategic. Strategic how? We make him the villain. Stillwell pulled up mock headlines, ready to deploy. Unregistered vigilante. Dangerous fugitive. Recruiting American heroes away from legitimate organizations. We emphasize the destruction. The property damage. The fear. Half the country thinks he's a hero. Then we change their minds. Stillwell's smile was sharp. We have resources he doesn't. Media control. Political connections. Money. We make life impossible for anyone who helps him. Target the boys, their families, their resources. Make Banner watch everyone around him suffer. Homelander's smile returned. I like that. Of course you do. Stillwell handed him the tablet. But patience, John. This is a long game. We don't fight Banner's strength. We attack his weakness. Which is? He cares, Stillwell said simply. About innocence. About his team. That compassion is exploitable. We threaten what he protects, make him choose between his freedom and their safety. Eventually, he'll break. Or surrender. Either way, we win. At the safe house, Banner felt it before the knock came. Vibration pattern, light, rhythmic, non-threatening. He nodded to Emmem, who approached the door cautiously, weapon ready. Who is it? Grace Mallory, a woman's voice called. CIA. I'm alone. And I'm here to talk, not fight. Butcher's head snapped up. Grace? Fuck me, didn't expect that. You know her? Asked. Old contact. Spooky action at a distance type. Butcher moved to the door, checked the peephole, nodded. She's legit. Probably. He opened the door. The woman who entered was in her 50s, gray hair pulled back, suit understated but expensive. Government professional. Her eyes found Banner immediately. Dr. Banner, she said. Extended a hand. Grace Mallory. Deputy Director, Special Projects Division. We need to talk. Banner didn't take the hand. If you're here to arrest me, I'm here to offer protection, Grace interrupted. Provisional. Conditional. But real. Vots made powerful enemies in Washington. Information. Cooperation when necessary. Not being used, Grace added quickly, seeing Banner's expression harden. Consulted. Your expertise, your unique perspective. In exchange, federal immunity, resources, legal protection from Vought's reach. Federal immunity doesn't mean shit if Homelander decides to kill me, Banner pointed out. No, Grace agreed. But it means he has to think twice. Do it quietly. Which limits his options. She pulled out a folder. We've been building a case against Vought for years. You just handed us public support. Eyewitness testimony. Physical evidence. Help us finish this, and everyone benefits. Butcher studied her. What's your real angle, Grace? Vought's too powerful. They control our heroes, our narrative, our response to superpowered threats. That's dangerous. Grace's voice was flat, factual. I want balance restored. Checks and balances. Banner represents an option outside their control. That makes him valuable. To me. To national security. So we trade Vought's cage for yours, said skeptically. No. You get breathing room. Time. The ability to fight without constantly running. Grace looked at each of them. I'm not asking you to trust me. Just to recognize mutual benefit. Banner was quiet for a long moment. Then, provisional. Any sign you're using us, we walk. Fair. And Sam, Banner gestured at the couch, gets full protection. New identity if he wants it. No retaliation. Done. They shook hands. Grace handed over a secure phone. Direct line. Use it if Vought escalates. We'll have assets ready. She moved to the door, paused. One more thing, Dr. Banner. Welcome to Earth 1218. try not to break too much of it. She left. The door closed. Silence settled. Well, Butcher said finally, that's either the best news we've had in years, or the setup for a spectacular betrayal. Both, said. Probably both. B. Anner looked at the boys. At Sam, slowly recovering. At Annie, career destroyed to do the right thing. At Huey, still believing despite everything. At Butcher, calculating angles but standing with them anyway. What happens now? Huey asked. Banner walked back to the window. Looked at the city, this wrong-right New York, this world not his own. Somewhere out there, Vought was planning. Homelander was raging. Threats were gathering, but here, in this cramped apartment, people who'd risked everything for a stranger stood together. Now, Banner said quietly, we make them regret ever threatening innocent people. 4 days passed. 4 days of relative quiet, the eye of the hurricane, Banner knew, not the end of the storm, the safe house became home. Cramped, chaotic, but functional. Established watch rotations. Frenchie set up security protocols. Kimiko claimed the fire escape as her observation post. Huey coordinated with Grace Mallory's people, documenting everything for the eventual case against Vought. Banner adapted. Slept on the floor because beds couldn't handle his weight. Ate carefully, his metabolism burned through food at alarming rates. Practiced meditation, keeping the Hulk balanced, integrated. Not suppressed. Partnership, not war. Annie struggled more. The whiplash from global celebrity to fugitive was disorienting. She'd catch herself reaching for the Starlight costume out of habit, remember it was gone, and the loss would hit her again. Weird, isn't it? Huey said one afternoon. They sat on the roof, Banner keeping watch while the others slept. Being nobody after being famous. I was famous once, Banner said quietly. Dr. Robert Bruce Banner. Respected scientist. 7 PhDs. Then I became the Hulk. After that, I was just the monster. The weapon. He paused. Being nobody sounds peaceful. Is it? Peaceful. Banner considered. Sometimes. When people aren't hunting you. So never, Huey concluded. Pretty much. They sat in comfortable silence. Below, the city continued, traffic, construction, life. People going about their day, unaware of the forces maneuvering in shadows. Can I ask you something? Huey said. About your world. The Avengers, were they real heroes? Like actually? Banner's expression complicated. Some were. Steve Rogers, Captain America, he was genuine. Believed in justice, sacrifice, doing right even when it cost him. Tony Stark. Banner paused. Tony had good intentions. But ego. Brilliance and arrogance in equal measure. He'd save the world, then create the next threat trying to protect it better. Sounds like Vought, Huey observed. Yeah, Banner agreed. That's what scared me most. How easily heroes become villains when they decide they know best. When they stop asking permission and start taking control. His hands curled into fists. That's why they sent me away. To Sakaar. Because they decided I was too dangerous. Didn't ask. Didn't discuss. Just, removed the problem. I'm sorry, Huey said quietly. Don't be. It taught me something important. Banner looked at the city. Power without accountability is tyranny. Doesn't matter if you wear a flag or a cape. If you can do whatever you want without consequences, you're not a hero. You're a dictator. Is that what Homelander is? Homelander's worse. He's a dictator who needs to be loved. Banner's voice hardened. Addition, that makes him unpredictable. Dangerous. He'll do terrible things if it means maintaining his image. Inside the apartment, monitored news feeds. The coverage had evolved. Initial shock giving way to analysis. Debate. Vought's PR machine working overtime. A new narrative was emerging, Banner as dangerous vigilante, Starlight as mentally unstable, the boys as terrorists. Carefully constructed, subtly deployed. Not obvious propaganda, that was too easy to dismiss. Instead, expert opinions, anonymous sources, convenient leaked documents. They're good, muttered. Butcher appeared beside him, coffee in hand. Best money can buy, Butcher agreed. What's the damage? Public opinion's shifting. Still split, but momentum's slowing.
In Vought Tower, deep in sub-level laboratories, Dr. Park studied holographic displays of Banner's cellular structure. Weeks of analysis, millions in funding, every resource Vought could marshal focused on one question: how do you stop the unstoppable? Stillwell entered, heels clicking on tile. Progress? Some. The gamma radiation is self-sustaining. His cells constantly generate and absorb it. That's the key to his durability, but there's a threshold. Park zoomed in. Here, the cellular regeneration has limits. Extreme cold slows it. Oxygen deprivation affects it. And this, he highlighted a specific structure, is his weakness. Explain. His transformation is triggered by adrenaline, cortisol, stress hormones, but it's controlled by prefrontal cortex activity. Banner's integrated the Hulk personality through conscious mental discipline. Park pulled up brain scans. Disrupt that control through drugs, neural inhibitors, psychological trauma, and you get either paralysis or uncontrolled rage. Stillwell smiled. Can you weaponize it? We're developing a compound. Aerosolized neurotoxin. Won't kill him. Nothing we have will. But it'll disrupt his neural patterns. Make him lose control. Turn him into the monster he's been trying not to be. How long until deployment? 3 days, maybe 4. Make it 2. Stillwell turned to leave, paused. And Park? When Banner loses control, when he hurts people, I want cameras everywhere. I want the world to see him as the threat we've been warning them about. At the safe house, Banner woke from nightmares. Same ones he'd had for years. Sakaar, the arena, the Hulk's rage consuming everything. But new elements now. This world, these people, Huey's face, Annie's sacrifice, Sam's terror, all because of him. He found Kimiko on the fire escape, keeping watch. She glanced at him, signed, "Bad dreams?" Banner nodded, sat beside her. The metal groaned under his weight, but held. "Me too," she signed. "Always. Past does not leave." "No," Banner agreed. "It doesn't." They sat in shared silence, two people called monsters, finding something like peace in each other's company. Kimiko's phone buzzed. Message from Frenchie. Movement. 3 blocks south. Black vans, military grade. Banner was on his feet instantly. "Wake everyone. We're compromised." Inside, chaos erupted. Controlled, practiced chaos. Grabbed weapons. Huey woke Sam. Annie checked escape routes. Butcher coordinated via phone. "Grace's people?" asked. "She says no," Butcher reported. "Either she's lying or—" The windows shattered inward, canisters tumbling through, releasing green gas. Not tear gas. Something else. Something that made Banner's skin tingle, made his head swim. "Gas masks!" shouted, but it was too late. The gas filled the room in seconds, odorless, invisible except for slight distortion. Banner felt it immediately. No, Banner thought desperately. Not like this. Not near them. But the toxin was designed too well. His prefrontal cortex flickered. Control slipped. "Bruce?" Annie's voice, concerned, distant. "Bruce, what's—" Banner's eyes blazed pure emerald. He felt his body changing, growing, the transformation he'd kept regulated becoming uncontrolled. Furniture crunched under his expanding mass. The ceiling cracked. "Everyone out," MM's voice, authoritative even through panic. "Now!" The team scrambled for exits. Banner tried to hold it back, tried to maintain control, but the neurotoxin burned through his neural pathways. The Hulk roared, not Banner's controlled voice, but something older, angrier, more dangerous. Outside, cameras were already positioned. Vought's cameras, broadcasting live as the building shook. As the green giant emerged through the collapsing wall, as he roared at the sky, fists pounding concrete to rubble, as he became exactly what Stillwell wanted the world to see: a monster, uncontrolled and terrifying. And the boys, his team, his family, ran for their lives. Banner's consciousness was drowning. The neurotoxin worked like acid on his neural pathways, dissolving the careful integration he'd spent years building. Banner and Hulk weren't separate anymore. They'd merged, found balance, became one. But the toxin tore that unity apart, forced them into corners, made them enemies again. The Hulk raged, pure, primal, all the anger Banner had learned to channel, to control, to transform into purpose, unleashed, without direction, without thought. A van exploded under his fist, metal and glass and flame. Hulk didn't remember why, didn't care. Something moved. Something threatened. "Smash it." "No," Banner's voice screamed from somewhere deep inside. "These are innocent people, our friends. Stop!" But the voice was distant, fading. The toxin wouldn't let it through. Across those, E Street, MM pulled Huey behind a concrete barrier. "Stay down! We have to help him!" Huey shouted over the destruction. That's not him!" "I know," MM's face was grim, "but getting close means getting killed." Annie crouched beside them, hands glowing with barely restrained power. "There has to be something, some way to reach him." "Yeah," Butcher said from behind them. He'd circled around, kept his distance. "Problem is, whatever Vought hit him with specifically targets his control. He's not Banner anymore, just the monster." Kimiko appeared silently at Annie's side, signed rapidly. Frenchie translated via comm. She says, "No, he is still there." She sees it in his eyes. He fights. They looked. Hulk was destroying everything in reach. Cars, pavement, a fire hydrant that erupted in useless water. But his movements were chaotic, unfocused. Not the tactical precision Banner always showed. And his eyes, between the rage, something else flickered. Pain, fear, desperation. He's fighting himself, Annie realized. Fighting and losing, MM observed. Look! The news helicopters circled overhead, keeping safe distance.
Homelander caught it. Floated there, holding the car, cape billowing. His smile was wide for the cameras. America's hero, saving people from the Green Menace. Banner. Homelander called. Voice amplified, theatrical. Stand down. You're hurting people. Hulk roared. Charged. Homelander dropped the car carefully, braced for impact. They collided. The shockwave shattered windows 2 blocks away. Hulk's fists were wild, uncoordinated. Homelander dodged easily, countered with precise strikes. Not trying to win, trying to look good doing it. "See?" Homelander called to the cameras. "This is what happens without control. Without oversight. Without Vought." Each word was calculated. Each movement choreographed. This wasn't a fight. It was a performance. And Banner was the prop, Inside his fragmenting mind, Banner screamed. No. Not like this. I won't be used, but the toxin was relentless. His thoughts scattered. His identity dissolved. The careful merger of Banner and Hulk, years of work, of therapy, of learning to accept himself, torn apart in minutes. That I'm losing, Banner thought with sudden clarity. Losing myself. Becoming what they always said I was, then, a voice. Familiar. Cutting through the chaos. Bruce. Huey. Standing in the open. 50 feet away. Completely exposed. Insane. Huey, get back. shouted, but Huey didn't move. Bruce. I know you're in there. Fight it. Like you fought everything else. Hulk's head turned. Saw the small human. Threat? No. Food? No. Something else. Something familiar. The toxin tried to cloud it, but recognition flickered. You held a building, Huey continued, voice shaking but firm. You counted every person. Made sure everyone got out. That was you. Bruce Banner. Not the monster. You. Hulk took a step forward. Huey stood his ground. Huey. Annie moved to intervene. Wait, Kimiko signed, holding her back. He is reaching him. You told me, Huey called, that you're responsible for all of it. Banner and Hulk. Both. Together. You said accepting that gave you control. He took a step forward. Toward the monster. So accept this. This is happening. They drugged you. Tried to make you lose control. But you don't have to. Hulk stopped. His massive chest heaved. Eyes flickered, green rage warring with something human underneath. The strongest thing you ever did, Huey said, voice softer now, was ask for help. Remember? You said that. So I'm here. We're all here. Your family. Let us help. The word hit like a hammer. Family, inside Banner's dissolving consciousness, something crystallized. Not control, he didn't have that anymore. But choice. The toxin could scatter his thoughts, could unleash the Hulk, could make him rage. But Homelander's smile cracked. Blood on his teeth. You son of a, Hulk's hand closed around his throat. Lifted him. Brought him close. And when Hulk spoke, Banner's voice came through, strained, breaking, but present. I'm still here. He threw Homelander away. Not toward people. Toward an empty lot. Controlled. Then Hulk turned, staggered, dropped to one knee. The toxin still raged in his system. But Banner had found the surface. Was holding. Barely, the boys moved in. Careful. Slow. Kimiko reached him first. Her hand touched his arm, small against his massive bicep, and signed, we stay. Together. Hulk's eyes found her. Something like relief flickered through the rage. Annie approached from the other side. We're getting you out of here. Away from them. Somewhere safe. Can't, Hulk's voice rumbled. Banner's words. Toxin, still working. Losing control again. Then we hold you, said, moving into position. Until it wears off. However long that takes. Could hurt you. Yeah, Butcher agreed, appearing with a van. Reinforced. You could. But you won't. Because you're Bruce Banner. And he doesn't hurt family. That word again. It anchored him. Gave him something to hold to while the neurotoxin tried to tear him apart. They loaded him into the van, barely fit, cramped, but contained. Hulk curled into himself, fighting. drove. Frenchie navigated. The others stayed close. Hands on his arms, his shoulders. Physical contact. Reminders that he wasn't alone. Wasn't the weapon. Wasn't the monster, was family, behind them. Vought's cameras captured it all. But so did independent sources. Social media exploded again, not with fear this time. With recognition. The image of Huey standing before the Hulk. Of the monster choosing not to destroy. Of friends protecting their own, the narrative shifted again. Faster this time that I in the tower, Stillwell watched her care. Move how? Grace came through. Got us location for Vought's neurotoxin lab. Where they made that shit they used on you. Butcher's smile was vicious. We burn it. Remove that option from their playbook. That's suicide, Banner said. It'll be heavily guarded. Yep. Which is why you're not coming. Banner stared. Excuse me. You're compromised, mate. They got inside your head once, they can do it again. Can't have you there when it happens. Butcher's voice was firm.
Standing and building, counting people. That was choice. Her hands moved faster. You could destroy. You protect. Every time. That is who you are. Not the rage, the choice. Banner felt something loosen in his chest. The shame, the self-hatred, the constant voice saying he was the monster. All of it softened by her words, by recognition from someone who understood. Thank you, he said. She smiled, small but genuine, then signed, We protect each other. Family does this. There was that word again. Banner had lost his family, his real family, his world, everything he'd known. But somehow, in this wrong universe with these broken people fighting impossible odds, he'd found it again. Yeah, he agreed. Family does. They sat in comfortable silence. Below, the city continued. News played on phones, the debate about Banner raging. Some called him hero, some called him threat. The truth, as always, was complicated. His phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. He almost deleted it, then saw the message. Dr. Banner, this is Maeve, Queen Maeve. We need to talk. Alone. I have information about Vaught's next move. It's worse than you think. Meet me at the coordinates below. Come alone or not at all. This is your only warning. Coordinates attached. Brooklyn, Industrial District. 2 hours from now. Banner stared at the message. Trap? Obviously. But also, maybe genuine. Maeve had been quiet during the tower incident. Had watched, not participated. Had looked at Starlight with something like respect when she left. He showed it to Kimiko. She read, frowned, signed. Trap. Probably, Banner agreed. But what if it's not? What if she has intel that saves the team? You tell Butcher. Butcher won't let me go. Because dangerous. Everything's dangerous. Banner looked at the coordinates again. If Vaught's planning something worse, I need to know. The team's raiding the lab tonight. You walk into something bigger. Kimiko grabbed his arm, signed emphatically, not alone. Never alone. That is rule. Banner met her eyes, saw the determination, the protectiveness. You're right. I tell Butcher. We decide together. She nodded approval. They went downstairs, found Butcher studying building schematics, beside him marking entry points. Got something, Banner said. Showed the message. Butcher read it. His expression darkened. It's a trap. I know, but no buts. Butcher's voice was flat. Vought tried to drug you into losing control. Didn't work. Now they try isolation. Get you alone, vulnerable, kill you or capture you. Classic play. What if Maeve's genuine? Annie asked. She'd approached quietly. She's complicated, not happy with Homelander. Maybe she wants out. Then she can defect properly, through grace, through channels. Butcher jabbed the phone. Not through cryptic texts and secret meetings. The coordinates are public place, observed, zooming in. Old warehouse district, but accessible. Cameras everywhere. Bad place for an ambush. Good place for a sniper, Butcher countered. They debated. Banner listened. Part of him wanted to go, needed to know if Maeve had intel, if the team was walking into something worse. But another part recognized the pattern. Vought separating him from support, making him vulnerable. I have idea. Frenchie's voice crackled through comms. He was elsewhere in the building, monitoring systems. We use this. Turn trap around. Explain, Butcher said. Banner goes, but not alone. We follow, concealed. If Maeve is genuine, we get intel. If trap, we spring it on our terms. Frenchie's enthusiasm built. Either way, we control narrative. That's insane, said. All our plans are insane, Huey pointed out. They keep working. Butcher looked at Banner. Your call, mate. You're the one they want. Banner thought of the team preparing to raid Vought's lab, of the risks they'd taken for him, of Kimiko's words. Never alone. Family does this. We do it, Banner decided, but Frenchie's way. Together. On our terms. Butcher's smile returned, sharp and predatory. Right then. Let's show Vought what happens when they try to isolate our nuclear option. The warehouse district was exactly as promised. Public, accessible, and completely deserted at midnight. Old industrial buildings lined cracked streets, windows dark, only occasional streetlights working. Perfect place for a conversation. Or an execution. Banner walked alone, visibly alone. In reality, the boys tracked him from 3 positions. on a rooftop with rifle, Huey and Frenchie in a van 2 blocks away monitoring thermal, Kimiko moving through shadows parallel to his path. Butcher coordinated, voice quiet in Banner's earpiece. See anything? Banner murmured. Negative. No heat signatures except yours and one inside the primary warehouse, presumably Maeve. Butcher paused. Still think this is dodgy. Noted. Banner reached the warehouse. The door was unlocked. He pushed through into darkness broken by a single overhead light. Maeve stood beneath it, out of costume, jeans, leather jacket, no cape or armor. She looked tired. Human. You came, she said, genuine surprise in her voice. You asked. Banner stayed near the door. Exit route clear. What do you want, Maeve? To warn you. She pulled out a tablet, set it on a crate between them. Vaught's not trying to contain you anymore. They're trying to weaponize you. Banner's eyes narrowed. Explain. The neurotoxin. That wasn't to stop you. It was a test, to see if they could make you lose control. Turn you into the monster on command. Maeve's voice was flat, factual. It worked. Now they're scaling up. She activated the tablet. Files appeared, schematics, formulas, test results. Banner recognized some of it. Gamma radiation research, neural mapping, his cellular samples. They're creating more, Banner said slowly, horror dawning. Not more Hulks, worse. Maeve scrolled through documents. They've been combining your cells with Compound V, testing on subjects, trying to replicate your power under their control. So far, she pulled up photos and Banner's stomach turned. All failures, 43 test subjects, all dead, but they're getting closer. The photos showed bodies, green-tinged, distorted, torn apart from the inside. People who'd volunteered or been coerced or simply disappeared into Vaught's machine, all dead pursuing corporate ambition. Why tell me? Banner asked. You're one of them. I was. Maeve's laugh was bitter. I believed once. In the Cape, the mission, being a hero. Then I saw what we really were, what I really was. Homelander's prop, Vought's product, and I was too scared to do anything about it. She met his eyes. Until I watched Starlight walk away, saw her choose principle over power, saw you choose people over safety.
This could be manipulation, Banner said. But he was studying the documents, the scientist in him recognizing genuine research. It is manipulation, Maeve agreed. Vought sent me to deliver this. To make you emotional. To make you reckless. She pulled up another file. The lab your team's planning to hit tonight. It's not just research. It's a trap. Homelander's there. A train. Black Noir. Dozens of guards. They're waiting. Banner's blood ran cold. How do you know about the raid? We know everything. Vought's been monitoring Grace Mallory's communications for weeks. They knew about the intel she gave you. They've been 3 steps ahead the entire time. In the van, Frenchie's fingers flew across his keyboard. Murd. She is right. I am detecting signal intercept on Grace's frequencies. They have been listening. Abort the raid, said into comms. Butcher, call it off. Already on it, Butcher replied. But his voice carried something else. Concerned, Banner looked at Maeve. Why help us? Why betray Vought now? Because they're planning something worse than experiments. Maeve's voice dropped. They're going to false flag. Create a disaster. Blame it on you. Something so catastrophic that Congress will have no choice but to pass their registration laws. Make enhanced individuals federal property. What kind of disaster? Maeve pulled up final documents. Banner read them. Felt his heart stop. No, he whispered. They wouldn't. They would. They will. Maeve's face was stone. Unless you stop them. The documents detailed a plan: release neurotoxin at a public event. Major gathering. Thousands of people. Make it look like Banner's gamma radiation caused it. Mass casualties. Public terror. Perfect justification for total control. When? Banner demanded. Tomorrow. Madison Square Garden. Concert. 20,000 people. Maeve closed the tablet. Vought's aura. Black Noir attacked first. Blades aimed for joints, weak points. Hulk caught them, twisted, disarmed. Not killing. Never killing. But absolutely neutralizing. The tactical teams backed away. They'd been told he was controllable, manageable. The reality, 8 feet of controlled fury, was different. Homelander crashed through the skylight. Kate billowing, smile wide. Hello again, Bruce. Ready for round 2? Hulk's smile matched his. Banner's voice emerged. I've toppled empires. You're just one more dictator. They charged simultaneously. The warehouse exploded around them, and across the city, Kimiko reached a small apartment where Elena was being held. Found her guarded by 3 Vought contractors. Kimiko didn't hesitate. Didn't speak. Just moved. 30 seconds later, Elena was safe. The contractors were unconscious, and Maeve's phone buzzed with a photo. Elena, unharmed, giving thumbs up. Message from Frenchie, she is safe. You are free. The warehouse couldn't contain them. Hulk and Homelander tore through walls like paper, their battles spilling into the street. Each impact cratered pavement. Each blow echoed between buildings. But this time was different. Banner was in control, thinking, adapting. Homelander was predictable. All power, no strategy. Hulk caught Homelander's fist mid-swing. Twisted. Homelander's wrist bent at an angle that made him scream. Not breaking, Banner still held that line, but hurting. Teaching. You're not a god, Banner's voice rumbled through the Hulk. You're a lab experiment with good PR. Homelander's eyes blazed. Heat vision at maximum. Hulk took it square in the face, didn't flinch, walked forward into the beam. His hand closed around Homelander's throat. I survived gamma bombs. Survived the void of space. Survived being exiled to another world. Hulk's grip tightened. What have you survived? Anything without Vought protecting you. He threw Homelander through a building. The structure groaned but held. Banner had calculated the angle, knew it was evacuated, controlled even in rage.in the van. Butcher coordinated multiple operations. What's our timeline? Madison Square Garden concert starts at 8 p.m. tomorrow. That's 19 hours. MM's voice was tight. If Vought deploys that neurotoxin during the show, 20,000 dead, Huey finished. We have to warn them. Evacuate. Can't. Frenchie pulled up security protocols. Vought controls venue security. We warn people, they lock it down, blame us for false threat. We need proof. Need that USB data Banner absorbed. Which is currently embedded in his palm while he fights Homelander, Annie said. How do we get Grace Mallory, Butcher interrupted. Get her people. Get federal agents to the garden before Vought can deploy. He was already dialing. Grace. It's happening. Madison Square Garden. Tomorrow night. Mass casualty false flag. Grace's voice crackled through, you have proof. Banner's got it. Literally. In his hand. Maeve provided everything. Maeve? Grace's surprise was audible. Queen Maeve turned. Vought had her girlfriend. We freed her. Now Maeve's in the wind and we need federal presence at that venue before Vought kills thousands. Silence. Then, I'll mobilize. But Butcher, if you're wrong, if this is bad intel, it's not. Trust me. I don't trust you. But I trust Banner. Grace's tone shifted to command mode. Keep him alive. I need that data. The line went dead. At the warehouse, Maeve watched the battle. Watched Homelander lose. Actually lose. She pulled out her phone, filmed it. Evidence. Insurance. Black Noir approached from behind. Silent. Deadly. Blades ready. Maeve spun. Don't. Noir paused. Communicated through gesture, orders. I know. Maeve's hands began to glow with power she rarely used anymore. But I'm done following orders. Elena's safe. I'm out. And if you try to stop me, her smile was grim, you'll find out why I was second strongest on the 7. Noir calculated. Weighed options. Then, slowly, he lowered his blades. Stepped aside. Maeve blinked. Seriously? Noir signed, tired too. He turned. Walked away. Disappeared into shadows. Leaving Maeve staring after him in shock. In the street, Hulk pinned Homelander. One massive hand pressing him into broken pavement. Homelander struggled, heat vision flickering weak, blood on his face. You can't kill me, Homelander gasped. You have rules. You don't kill. I don't, Hulk agreed. Banner's voice clearer now. But I can make you understand something. He leaned closer. Lowered his voice so only Homelander could hear. You're not special. You're not unique. You're just the first. If Compound V created you, it can create others. Better versions. Stronger. Smarter. More controlled. He paused. You're replaceable, John. Vought knows it. Why do you think they're trying to replicate me? Homelander's face twisted. Rage and fear warring. They wouldn't, they already are. 43 dead subjects so far. But they'll keep trying. Keep experimenting. Until they find your replacement. Hulk's eyes blazed. Then what? What happens to the god when someone stronger arrives? He released Homelander. Stood. Think about that. Think about W. Ho, you're really protecting them? Or yourself? Homelander lay there, breathing hard, ego and certainty cracking. Hulk turned. Walked toward where the boys waited. His body began to shrink, green fading. Banner emerged, naked and exhausted. Threw him clothes. Nice speech, Butcher said. Think it worked? No idea. Banner pulled on pants. But I planted doubt. Sometimes that's enough. We've got bigger problems. Showed him the timeline. 19 hours until the false flag. Grace is mobilizing, but Vought's going to accelerate if they think we're onto them. Then we don't give them time to think. Banner opened his palm. The USB drive was embedded in his skin, surrounded by healing tissue. He dug in with his fingers, painful, but necessary, and extracted it. Blood slicked but intact. Annie looked away. That's horrifying. Effective though. Banner held up the drive. Everything Maeve gave us. Proof of experiments, false flag plans, all of it. Frenchie took it, plugged into his laptop. Files loaded. His eyes widened. Mon Dieu. This is extensive. Years of experiments. Hundreds of subjects. Children, even. Children. Annie's voice went cold. Orphans. Runaways. People no one would miss. Frenchie scrolled through documentation. Vought has been doing this for decades. Compound V was just the start. Banner's fists clenched. We end this. Tomorrow. No more experiments. No more victims. Agreed. Grace Mallory's voice came through the phone Butcher had left on speaker. I've got federal agents en route to Madison Square Garden. But I need you there too, Banner. In case this goes hot.
It will go hot, Banner said. Vaught's not surrendering. Then we'll be ready. Grace paused. One more thing. The president's been briefed. If we can prove everything on that drive, if we stop the false flag, he's authorized military intervention. We can dismantle Vought entirely. Silence. The weight of that statement settling. That's what we wanted, Huey said quietly. Right? To bring them down? Yeah, Butcher agreed. But his voice carried something else. But mate, bringing down an empire, people get crushed when towers fall. So we're careful, said. Surgical. We extract the cancer without killing the patient. Is that possible? Annie asked. Vaught's everywhere. In everything. How do you remove them without collapsing the entire system? Carefully, Banner said. He was thinking of his own world, of what happened when systems collapsed. The chaos, the violence, the innocent people caught in crossfire. We need a plan, not just for tomorrow night, for what comes after. After can wait, Butcher said. First we stop 20,000 people from dying, then we worry about rebuilding. Maeve approached from the shadows. They tensed, weapons coming up, but she raised empty hands. I'm out. Done. But I can help. I know Vaught's security protocols. Know how they'll deploy the toxin. Know their contingencies. Why should we trust you? Asked. Because Elena's safe. Because Black Noir let me walk. Because... Maeve's voice cracked slightly. Because I'm tired of being the villain while wearing a hero's costume. Banner studied her, saw genuine exhaustion, genuine regret. You help us stop the false flag, we'll help you disappear. New identity, protection. Fresh start. Deal. They moved as a unit, back to the van, into the night, racing against a clock. 19 hours to stop a massacre, 19 hours to bring down an empire. And somewhere in Vought Tau, Madeline Stillwell watched security footage of the failed capture, watched Maeve's betrayal, watched Homelander's defeat. Her smile never wavered. Accelerate the timeline. Deploy tonight. Midnight concert. Surprise show. Get the toxin in position now. Ma'am, that's only 4 hours. Then move faster. Her eyes were ice. If we're going down, we're taking them all with us. Frenchie's laptop pinged. Then again, alerts cascading across the screen. No, he whispered, fingers flying. They changed it. The concert, midnight showing, surprise performance, announced 10 minutes ago. Banner checked his watch. 11:47 p.m. 13 minutes. Madison Square Garden's 30 minutes away, said, already calculating, even with lights and sirens. I can make it in 5, Banner interrupted. If I jump? Jump? Huey stared. You mean? Banner was already stripping off his shirt. Hulk can leap miles. I've done the math. 3 jumps, maybe 4. I'm there. Alone, Annie said. Against all of Vaught's security. No choice. Banner's eyes were already glowing. You follow in the van. Get federal agents positioned, but someone needs to be inside now. Find the toxin. Stop deployment. It's suicide, Butcher said flatly. It's necessary. Banner looked at each of them. His family, his team. 20,000 people. I won't let them die because I was too slow. Maeve stepped forward. I'm going with you. You can't keep up. I can fly. Not as fast as Homelander, but fast enough. Her jaw set. And I know the garden's layout, security patterns, where they'd hide toxin deployment. You need me. Banner nodded. Okay. Everyone else. We know our jobs, interrupted, respect clear in his voice. Go. We'll be right behind you. Banner's transformation was controlled, smooth. The Hulk emerged, but Banner's consciousness remained dominant, perfect synthesis. He looked at Maeve. Keep up, he rumbled. Then, he leaped. The jump carried him 3 blocks. He landed on a rooftop, concrete cracking but holding. Calculated the next angle, leaped again. Maeve flew alongside, struggling to match his speed. Behind them, Butcher gunned the van's engine. Grace, tell me you've got people moving. Federal agents deploying, Grace confirmed. But they won't make it in time for infiltration, only containment. Then Banner's our only shot. Butcher took a corner too fast. Huey, you're on comms. Keep him informed. Frenchie, building schematics. Annie. I'm coming, Annie said. Already pulling power, light beginning to glow. If Banner needs backup, I can get there fast. Not as fast as him. Fast enough. At Madison Square Garden, the midnight concert was packed. Influencers, celebrities, fans who'd jumped at the surprise announcement. 20,000 people crammed into seats, unaware they were test subjects. Cameras everywhere, live streaming, broadcasting, documenting their own deaths. In the control room, Vought operatives monitored systems. The neurotoxin was hidden in the air conditioning. 1 button press, dispersal in 90 seconds, then chaos, death, and blame carefully directed at the gamma-irradiated monster. Deployment authorization? The lead operative asked into his comm. Stillwell's voice. Stand by. Homelander's en route. We need him visible when it happens. The her, who trying to save people from Banner's radiation. Copy. Standing by. Homelander landed on the garden's roof. His face was bruised, Banner's work, but makeup covered most of it. He looked every inch the hero, but his eyes were hollow. Banner's words echoed. You're replaceable. His phone rang. Stillwell. John, you're in position? Yeah. His voice was flat. Good. When the toxin deploys, you evacuate as many as you can. Make sure cameras catch you saving people. We need you looking heroic during Banner's attack. Silence on the line. "John, this is wrong," Homelander said quietly. "Killing innocents. Blaming someone else. This isn't heroism. This is survival," Stillwell snapped. "Vought's survival. Your survival. Without the company, you're just a lab rat with powers. You want that?" More silence. Then, "No." "Then do your job."
The line went dead. Homelander stood on the roof, looking at the skyline. At his reflection in glass panels. At the costume, the cape, the symbol. All of it built on lies. Banner's voice in his memory. What happens to the god when someone stronger arrives? The Hulk crashed through the garden's exterior wall at 11:56 p.m., alarms shrieked. Security converged. Banner didn't fight them, just pushed through, moving toward the central air system. Maeve flew beside him, blasting guards with concussive force. "Ventilation's that way." She pointed. "Sub-level, behind the main stage." They ran. The concert was in full swing above, music pounding, crowd screaming in excitement. No one knew. No one suspected. The control room operative saw them on cameras. Targets in building. Deploying now. He pressed the button. The toxin began releasing. Invisible. Odorless. Designed to mimic radiation poisoning symptoms. In 60 seconds, people would start feeling it. In 5 minutes, first casualties. Banner felt it through vibration. The change in air pressure. The ventilation system activating differently. They deployed. "Can you stop it?" Maeve shouted over alarms. "I can try." He reached the air handlers. Massive systems, industrial scale. The toxin was already in the airflow. Already spreading. Banner's mind raced, scientist and monster, thinking simultaneously. "The main line." He pointed. "We reverse the flow. Push it back before it reaches the concert hall." "That'll blow the system," Maeve said. "Could explode. Could kill us. Better us than them." Banner grabbed the primary intake line. Metal screamed under his grip. "Help me." Maeve joined him. They pulled together, Banner's strength, Maeve's power, forcing metal to bend, systems to reverse, physics to comply through sheer determination. The pressure built. Warning lights flashed. The system was designed for one-way flow. Reversing. It meant catastrophic failure. Explosion. Fire. Banner held on. "Evacuate. Get out." "No." Maeve's grip tightened. "Not this time. This time I do the right thing." The explosion came, not full detonation. Banner had calculated, controlled, directed. The ventilation system ruptured, but the force went outward, away from the concert hall. Flame and metal, but contained. The toxin vented harmlessly into the night sky, dispersing before it could hurt anyone. Banner and Maeve were thrown backward. Maeve hit a wall, unconscious. Banner took the brunt, fire, shrapnel, force. Even his skin had limits. He felt ribs crack. Felt burns. Felt pain, but above, the concert continued. 20,000 people, safe. Unaware. Alive. Banner collapsed to his knees. Felt himself shrinking. The Hulk receding. Banner emerging, human and broken. Blood on concrete. Vision swimming, footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. Expensive heels on tile. Madeline Stillwell stood before him. Gun in hand. Not standard issue, something specialized. High caliber. Designed to punch through soup flesh. "Dr. Banner," she said pleasantly. "You've been quite the thorn in our side." Banner tried to stand. Couldn't. Transformation exhausted him. The explosion had hurt him. He was vulnerable. Human. Mortal. You failed, he said. Voice weak but defiant. The toxin didn't deploy. People are safe. True. Stillwell's smile didn't waver. But there's always a contingency. If you won't be our weapon, she raised the gun, you'll be our martyr. The dangerous monster, stopped by Vought. Shot while attacking innocents. Evidence of our necessity. Banner looked at the gun. At her face. At the calculated evil wearing a professional smile. Do it, he said quietly. But it won't save you. The data's already out. Federal agents are coming. This ends tonight. Perhaps. Stillwell's finger moved to the trigger. But at least you won't it. The shot echoed. But Banner didn't fall, Homelander stood between them. The bullet embedded in his palm, caught mid-flight. His face was unreadable. His eyes found Stillwell. No, he said simply. Stillwell's mask cracked. John. What are you? I'm done. Homelander crushed the bullet to powder. Let it fall. Done being your weapon. Done pretending. Done killing innocents so you can profit. He looked at Banner. At the man who'd beaten him, humiliated him, but never killed him. He was right. You made me. You can make others. I'm just your product. John, think about what I am thinking. For maybe the first time in his life. And I'm choosing to stop. Stillwell raised the gun toward Homelander. Desperation finally visible. You ungrateful, federal agents burst through every entrance. Grace Mallory leading, weapon drawn. Madeline Stillwell. Drop the weapon. You're under arrest. Stillwell looked around. At the agents. At Homelander's betrayal. At Banner, barely conscious but smiling. At her empire crumbling in real time, she lowered the gun. Her smile returned, shark-like, undefeated. This isn't over. Yeah, Banner whispered, consciousness fading. It is. He collapsed. The last thing he heard was Huey's voice, panicked, calling his name, then darkness. Banner woke to antiseptic smell and steady beeping. Hospital. He catalogued sensations before opening his eyes, ribs bandaged, burns treated, 4 in his arm. Human. Vulnerable. Alive. About time, Butcher's voice said from somewhere to his left. Been out 2 days. Starting to think you were milking it. Banner opened his eyes. The hospital room was private, secure. Grace Mallory's doing, probably. The boys were scattered around, Butcher by the window, MM in a chair reading, Huey and Annie talking quietly near the door. Kimiko sat beside the bed, signing welcome back when she saw him looking. Did we? Banner's voice wah. Grace's voice was direct. You've seen what corporate control looks like. Help us build something better. Banner looked at the boys. At these people who'd risked everything fighting the system. What do you think? Your call, mate, Butcher said. But someone's gotta make sure the next structure ain't just Vought with a different logo. And you trust the government? Banner asked. Fuck no, Butcher admitted. But I trust you. And if you're in there, keeping them honest, he shrugged. Least we got a fighting chance. 3 weeks later, Banner stood in a congressional hearing room. Not as prisoner. As consultant. The room was packed, media, politicians, enhanced individuals waiting to learn their fate. Dr. Banner, Senator Hayes began. You've reviewed our proposed Enhanced Individuals Accountability Act. Your assessment. Banner looked at the document. Months of work, countless drafts. Not perfect. But better than before. It's a start. Registration without ownership. Oversight without control. Rights equal to any citizen, with additional responsibility given additional capability. Some say that's not enough regulation, another senator challenged. That enhanced individuals need stricter control. For public safety. Public safety, Banner repeated. He thought of Vought, of Stillwell, of cages disguised as security. I understand the fear. Power is frightening. But here's what I've learned, he leaned forward. Heroism isn't about permission. It's about choosing to do right when no one's forcing you. When there's no profit. No camera. No reward. Just the choice. He paused. The room was silent. You can't regulate that. You can't legislate it. You can only decide, do you want people who help because they have to? Or people who help because they choose to? His eyes found the camera, knowing millions watched. I choose. Every day. To protect people. Not because V. Ought owned me, not because government mandates it. Because it's right. The room erupted. Half in applause, half in argument. But the seed was planted. The narrative shifted. Outside, the boys waited. They'd attended every hearing, every meeting. Moral support. Family. Nice speech, Annie said. She testified earlier, detailing Vought's corruption from inside. Her starlight costume was retired. Now she worked with Grace, helping other former Vought heroes transition. Think it'll work? Huey asked. The new system. It's better than the old one, said. He'd been appointed to the Oversight Committee too. Military experience, tactical mind, moral compass. Not perfect. But better. Better's enough, Butcher agreed. He'd been offered a position, refused it. The boys were transitioning too, from vigilantes to something else. Consultants. Investigators. Gray area operators who kept the system honest. Kimiko signed. You stay? Banner had been asked that question a lot. The portal research had advanced. Grace's scientists believed they could recreate the dimensional rift. Send him home. Back to Earth, 616. Back to his world. I don't know, Banner admitted. Part of me wants to go back. Find my team. My world. But? Annie prompted. But this world needs help too. And I have, he looked at them. At Huey's idealism. Butcher's cynicism. Mm's pragmatism. Annie's determination. Kimiko's quiet strength. I have people here. You've got family, Huey corrected. Banner's throat tightened. Yeah. I do.
His phone buzzed. Text from Maeve. Coffee? Need advice on this whole new identity thing. Another from Grace. Budget meeting tomorrow. Bring evidence if you want funding for Banner Labs initiative. Another from an unknown number. He opened it. Dr. Banner. This is Homelander. John. I wanted to say thank you for not killing me, for showing me I could choose differently. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying. That's something, right? Banner stared at the message, at this broken god learning to be human. Yeah, he typed back. That's everything. 6 months later, Banner stood on a rooftop in Brooklyn. Different building, same ritual, watching the city, thinking. The world had changed. Vought was gone. Enhanced individuals had rights and responsibilities. The system was better, imperfect, but improving. Congress was actually debating policy instead of rubber-stamping corporate interests. And the boys? They'd evolved. No longer fighting from shadows, operating in the gray, but with legitimacy. Making sure power stayed accountable. An emergency alert pinged Banner's phone. Building collapse. Queens. people trapped. He didn't hesitate, didn't wait for permission or authorization, just transformed, controlled, purposeful, and leaped. The jump carried him across the city, green streak against the sunset. People looked up, pointed. Some smiled, some still feared. But more understood now, understood the choice. Banner landed at the collapse site. Emergency crews were already there, but the structure was unstable, too dangerous for normal rescue. "Dr. Banner," a fire chief approached, relieved, not threatened. "We've got 6 people trapped, can you—" "On it," Banner confirmed. He moved into the rubble, found the support points, lifted with careful strength, held tons of concrete while firefighters extracted victims, one by one, counted every head, made sure. The last person out was a child, maybe 7. She looked at the Hulk, this massive green giant holding her world from collapsing, and said, "Thank you." Banner's expression softened. "You're welcome." He set the structure down carefully. Controlled demolition. No one hurt. Mission accomplished. The crowd didn't scatter. They stayed. Some applauded. Others just nodded respect. A teenager approached, phone out. Can I get a photo?" Banner almost said no, then reconsidered. This was the new world. Heroes without corporate ownership, without performance, just people with power, choosing to help. "Sure," he said. The photo went viral within minutes. Hulk and Kid both smiling, real, unscripted. Huey texted, "Nice pic. Pizza at the safe house?" Banner smiled, typed back, "On my way. Save me the pepperoni." He looked at the city, at the sunset, at this world that wasn't his but had become home. Not because he was trapped, because he chose it, chose the people, chose the purpose, chose the family. In Vaught's ruins, something stirred. In the abandoned labs, someone moved, because empires fall, but ambition survives. And somewhere in the wreckage, in the sealed files, in the hidden research, the seeds of the next threat were already germinating. But that was tomorrow's problem. Tonight, Banner had pizza with family. Tonight, the city was safe. Tonight, a hero without permission proved permission was never the point. The green streak leaped across rooftops, heading toward Brooklyn, toward home, toward tomorrow. And somewhere, in another universe, a portal hummed with possibility, waiting, patient, ready. But Bruce Banner wasn't. Not yet.